Wrap it up.
Wearing red for the first time, guys. So have fun. 2 hours left.
Lacoste red too? Sheesh.
Yeah, it has like a little crocodile. You can see. Cute. So yes, guys, hope more opportunities will come for you. Still 2 hours left. Have fun. Enjoy your trading. And we will see you tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Пока-пока.
Hey guys, welcome to the close. Couple hours left in a pretty red and back to the lows, in fact, for the overall market. Ugly Monday. Right across the board, we tumbled out of the gate and really have not had a significant bounce back to 4,000 on the S&P. We've tested it not once, but now twice, trying to bounce as we speak. But a little bit less effort involved in the second attempt here on a bounce. Here's what it looks like from the board right now. 2.6% for the S&P, the Dow 1.4%. It is the NASDAQ getting crushed again, 3.5% almost. To the downside for the NASDAQ. They're leading the way. TSX here in Toronto, 2.3% in negative territory. An amazing move in crude oil. I mean, 8+% top to bottom in the southbound direction, 6.27% negative at the moment. 13%, Ethereum 15%. Yeah, one of those days, unfortunately. Here's a look at a glowing red board right now. Pretty ugly right across the entire thing. There are a few names standing out in positive territory, all with individual news, earnings for the most part. Look at Boeing, 8.25% for Boeing. Norwegian up here, all the cruise lines, in fact, 9% for Norwegian there, leading the way. It's tech stocks, as we said, getting crushed. Semiconductors leading the way, all down 8+%. Healthcare stocks, no better. There's Amgen, I guess. Gilead 1.3 as well to the upside. Everything else, though, yeah, you got the picture. It's not pretty for a Monday. Continuing the slide that we saw kick off on Friday. But remember what happened the last hour of the day on Friday? We did get that a bit of short covering, maybe a little bit of a relief rally into the close. We'll see if the same thing occurs today. Welcome. Hope your afternoon's going well, even with the market getting taken out back again. We'll kick things off again this afternoon, as we do always, with a look at what we were discussing this morning at the open. Make sure, I say it every day, guys, make sure you're here. 8:30 every single morning. We get you set and ready for the open in the first hour, and then we take you right through until 4 o'clock live all day long. Let's get into what we were looking at in the pre-market this morning. Neil's going to lead the way with a look at one of his trades from this morning.
Surprise, the trade of the day is not going to be Rivian today. Obviously, it could have been with the lockup, but the setup in NEO was a pretty interesting one, just given the two types of trades we're able to execute and look at. Now, obviously, a down day in the market. You had the week that we had last week, and then, of course, gapping down in the morning. So there are plenty of things that we're setting up for shorts, but you got to set that stage. And NEO, we're looking at a daily chart here. Sometimes we get to 15, but today, I want to make sure we're showing the daily so you can see that ultimate target still in play here, that $13, and a couple of other lines marked off here. Just the recent low from last week, that's 16, and then right here, you've got the low from Friday's action. So a couple of levels starting to come into play with the gap down, overall market weakness, and it was one of those mornings where pretty much everything was a short till it wasn't. We marked off some even dollar levels. That put that 14 break into play, but we're not going to be looking at a 14 break right away at the open because there's something called the pop and fade. When you have a market that's down this far, a lot of times if it's going to try to break out early in the session, you can get one of those crazy wick bottoms and a big massive breakout. But if we get a failed breakout to the top in a weak market, those are some of the best shorting opportunities, and that's exactly what happened here. Right at the open, NEO tries to go once and then tries to go twice through to this 1450 area. And if you remember what 1450 might have been, that was that previous low from Friday. So significant price level. Once it failed the second time, that was an entry on the way back to the downside. We're scalping some out in the midst of that first consolidation point. And then the rest of the trade out in front of that 14 low. Now, why get out in front of 14 low? Because we're short in a 14 break. The market was going absolutely nuts, up and down, whipsaw action on every stock that I looked at. retesting highs, retesting lows. In that kind of environment, I would rather be trying to work back in, and I wish I had gotten it this little turn here at 1440, but did not. It was either work back in off the highs or wait till it breaks out that 14. It makes the 14 break. We immediately work it down to 1375. It even gives you a reload trade back at 14 even. Eventually settles in at 1350. I was trying to hold out some for the home run, thinking you could get down to 13, but the market tried to catch a little bit of a bid here, and we did rally to the upside. Now, this is one of those situations where if it's going to be, like we said, the start of a week, and you get those crazy bottoms in a market in the morning when you've already been so beaten up, a lot of times you don't want to get trapped if we're going to make a harsh reversal. So we did stop that one out when it got back above that 1405 level. Just not willing to have anything that was showing some relative strength on the bounce go all the way back up toward those highs. Not going to hold all the way through. Would I have shorted at 1450 if we got there? Yeah, I probably would have. But ultimately, when you have that kind of a market, you want to wait for the key prices. In this case, it was the failure through Friday's bottoms, that 1450 area. It was the failure through that 14 even. And then next thing we're probably going to be looking at is, can it hold up at about 1350 on the way to what might be that ultimate $13 on NIO. Lesson here always, though, when trying to hold on to some of these trades or trying to get into these trades, is sometimes you've got to be willing to buy at the top in the bull market or sell at the bottom in a bear market, because you can always go higher and you can always go lower. But as long as you can structure the trade, there's winners to be had.
Yeah, winners to be had all over the place today. Specifically, if you were talking about any of the EV space, I want to talk about Tesla here coming up, but we'll get into NIO again, XPeng as well, all under pressure because of some Chinese pressure coming through. Anyways, there's a ton to get through. That's the link to the watch list, guys. Make sure you pick that up every single day, absolutely free to you. And then we go through it before the open in the pre-market. Still watching Rivian continuing to grind back to the upside here. We came back to session lows essentially on Rivian, and now we're kind of creeping back higher. I mentioned we bounced off 4,000 on the S&P. I was wondering if this was going to be the one that does try to hold for the day, but it wouldn't appear so as we head back to the southbound side as well. Let's jump right into it. Why don't we have a look at Rivian to kick things off today, guys, because what a mess this has been. Almost 20% on the day at this point. I mean, really, we've been trading in, what is it, $1.50 kind of range since the pre-market. Just a grind either way. A ton of volume, a ton of liquidity, but back and forth we go once again back to the downside for Rivian.
Yeah, it hasn't. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the afternoon show.
Yes.
Should be a good one. Yeah, look, Rivian is an absolute cash cow today. Spin the money. Money. I mean, we talked about it early, Rivian, and we wanted it to be, we wanted the short on RIVN. We have it. It's on the sticky note. It's the number one name on the sticky note. Today we have a bunch of new traders behind us. We say what's up to them, and hopefully they'll be checking out said sticky note as well. But Rivian today, all the way to the downside. Look at all these ticks that we have. Every single one of these trades is a short, including all around 25.50, man. I mean, that's, you said that it's been a little jumpy today. Not really, in my opinion. It's been pretty clean. You did make a move back to 25. So, yeah, if you're playing inside ranges, I think it's been pretty dirty. So I understand that definitely in the first. I mean, this is all the pre-market, right? But if you take away the pre-market trading, we ripped up to 25.50, which was the levels that we talked about here on the sticky note. We actually had 25 written down. So you had to hold this one, a maximum 50, maybe 60 cents against you. And then it's just printed just 23 right now. But look how many times it's bottomed out. Once there at 23, we have that tick. We don't have it there. We basically have it there at 23.50, and then we've made another move down to 23.07. So I think as long as you've stayed net short this name, you've probably been okay. If you took too many shares early, then you might have got stopped out. But either way, I mean, I don't think we really took any stop out levels out. Like I was talking about this 26 there. I mean, that came close. I would have loved to have reloaded up there, which we did. But I mean, every time it came, we just missed one reload there. But even there at 25 is probably another one. Look, Rivian's going to be selling while Ford's coming in there, selling the shares. More to come on them. 63 million shares done today. The problem is the market is absolutely tanking as well, right? And so Rivian's picking up some pressure. If the market was up today, Rivian could have been okay, but I just feel like they want to get in here and sell. So Rivian, to me, I'm light on it now. It's $2 in the money, but I want to short again, but not until we get to this 25 area. So I think if you play inside, there's a problem, but if you wait on the outsides, 23 bids, 25 offers, you know, it's been a pretty smooth sail right there. Another reload there. Yes, sir. We got to get us some Facebook right here as it rips up. Yeah, buddy. There's another 98 long right there. We just took 30 cents on that piece. Let's see where it goes from here. Facebook longs.
Yeah, this goes to show with Rivian that sometimes you can have all the anticipation in the world and everyone's sort of lining up and gearing up for an event, and it can still pay off. Now, I would tend to agree. If this had been a positive day in the market, this would have actually, it would have been a squeeze that I think would have broken some of the shorts, but it was entirely too weak of a day in the market for it to happen. We've seen that story before, 10 to 11% short interest. There were levels worth working off of initially at the open 24s, and then wait for it to get to 25, and then when it broke 25, allow it to make the turn at 26. And the 25 is a level that I think is going to matter for the afternoon if it tries to get back up there, because that's the lower high that we've put in. But let's not forget the low of the day. Right, like the break of 23 really happened in the pre-market. When we dipped down there at 11 o'clock, right after we got off and went to the market mover show, you know, that was the low of 23 even, and that's still very much in play right now. And now as we get Tesla 800 possibly making a break again, you got to watch Rivian at these bottoms. There's no such thing as a low that is too low in this market. And let's keep in mind, this is off of Ford selling 8 million of a 102 stake, and who knows how much Amazon may or may not be selling of 160 million stake. So this story isn't done.
Nope, more to come for sure. Back to 4,000 again here on the overall market. Let's go to Palantir, another one. Ugly this morning in the pre-market off of earnings. I mean, this was more a liquidity event. I feel there was no volume traded, you can see in the pre-market this morning. But even when the market gets open, not much of a bounce here for PLTR. Back to session lows as we speak.
Long Palantir, Brendan. I know it's.
How dare you?
Well, see, the interesting thing about Palantir, it was down so much already after the earnings. And that's the thing about reporting in the morning, is it had already made such a gigantic move, and then it rolled over to the bottom. When we came off at 11 o'clock, it was one of the stronger names because you had made it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I'll zoom in so you can see better. Like 4 times, all these wicks are not going to help. 4 times you bounced off about 730, 7.25 to 730, while the market was making fresh lows. And in that context, Palantir looked really good. And I had the long off 730. It worked up to 760. I think I had most of it out at that point, and I've just reloaded in front of the low of the day. And it's not to say that this was a good quarter or that it's not a weak stock. We did initially short it, but if I see the market making fresh lows, churning, breaking levels, key names breaking levels. I mean, volatility was breaking through highs, and in that context, Palantir was just holding the low, holding the low down 20%. Risk to reward said it was worth it down here. Sort of the same thing. If we're going to hold 4,000 on the ES, the Nasdaq can find a way to manage to hold this bottom at 12.2. Then Palantir is certainly something that has a chance with that nice little scalp trade back into the upside. It's already shown a willingness to hold this 730 bid. So I have no problem going to it. And we can pull up the daily charts on so many of these names. When you break out bottoms, like we have here, there's no levels except for the evens to work off of. Psychologically they'll come into play. So we get back above, say, 750 and catch a bid there. That would be a pretty strong sign. But that's just picking a round number out. But that bottom's been pretty good so far in Palantir. Obviously not a good day for the stock, but the buyers have come in at 730.
Yeah, no, we're rolling the dice with PLTR as well. I mean, Neil just, I can't say anything else really. We're on the same kind of tip there that we're just going to try to defend this bottom. We did have a long here. It went up to 80, and I was saying to Neil, we have our meetings Monday, and I missed that trade. And normally I'm layering these outs, but for some reason we missed that, and then now it's just falling right back down. But we just got a piece out at 40. I don't know, man. I don't know if this name's going to go or not. Like, it's trying to break the 50 period. It just tried there. That's why I was sitting at 40, so we'll see. I mean, I'd love to get this thing back to 760. I think, that's VWAP there is pretty much leveled out. Anything above there I think would be a gift. So if we can get Palantir out around 755, I'd be doing backflips right on that one. But okay, just an update here as just noticing I'm gonna take another piece out on Ford on Facebook. We almost got it. It almost went, man. Like we were waiting at 62. I'm gonna wait at 50 right now. I'm in pure scalp mode right now. Like this is just gonna be a 30-cent win on Facebook, and then we'll just keep going back and forth if we can. I'm still in 70% of this position. We were long at 198.20, and we've just gotten some out every time it went to 50. So I'm gonna do it one more time here. Take another 30 cents on this name, and then try to hold 60% for the higher moves. We're waiting at 199 right now for FB, so I still think that has a chance to go. And there again, there's Palantir, guys. Like no surprise, fails again, trying to break higher. But look at the volume. 140 million shares for PLTR. I like that. I mean, I think that when you start turning through volumes and the market is still holding you up like it is on Palantir, like kind of just saying what Neil said here, it's holding up okay, considering. I mean, sure, the market was at $8 this morning. It's fallen down, but you know, all in all, it hasn't taken down these lows yet. So I wanted to see if it can hold these 735s. I mean, it's not like this has been a great trade. It's been bad. I'm actually negative, obviously, on Palantir today. So, you know, not a great trade, but do I think there's an opportunity here? Yes, to get back to the north side. This many shares today, 137 million, you know, there's some definite interest here from retail, traders like us, and hopefully some longer term players that want to hold this stock so the selling can stop. But right now, Palantir, I wonder if Aunt Kathy's back in now buying this thing. A lot of these names, man, Square, PayPal, Palantir, Upstarts, you talked about Affirm earlier. Some of these names just keep getting hammered like every single day. So I don't know, man. At some point, the bleeding's going to have to stop. But they say sell in May and go away. So, hey, guess what month we're in, Brendo?
Yeah, right. Good point. I was just speaking of those stocks, guys. Before we go on to big tech here, I was just looking at Square. Obviously, Bitcoin getting cracked. We're below this low. I got to go back to February 24th, but they just cleared that low, 82 on Square, for anyone who was wondering. Big tech, though, also to the downside today. I mean, speaking of some individual names that are holding up a little bit better, I mean, Apple gaps down 3%, has gone sideways all day long. A few others. I mean, the chips a little bit weaker today, Nvidia a little bit weaker, AMD as well. But overall, this group, I mean, again, kind of holding up.
I mean, so I want to talk the chips for a second because I know we looked at Microsoft, and I know you'll definitely want to talk about it.
Yeah, I thought Microsoft was a monster.
It broke that level. It broke that 270, and we talked about how bad that would be for the market, and you're seeing what happened here today. But Nvidia, it's just a story of getting out of these too early. And whenever we have these monster levels break down, and it'll be the same thing with Softy when it broke. But you were gapping below the post split bottom here. And once you're below that 180 level, it's just on the chart, it's going to be a short. It's like it's a short till it's not. A floor like this breaks when you have a volatile week like we did. Now remember, last week we were talking about how so many names had made these hard bottoms and were bouncing and trying to break out of the next level. It's like there's no celebrating on a stock like Nvidia until it got held above like a 204. Because you're still in the bottom end of the channel. It doesn't matter how many times it rallies 10%. If it doesn't make the second move, you're in danger. And then that's exactly what happened today. We come in, we're below that floor. It does that whole, let's attempt to break back out. Let's attempt to break back out, cannot get through the highs, and then flush city. Now, I ended up getting out at 175 because 180 to 175. And then we just bounced at 170 on Nvidia. And this is the thing, when a shelf like that breaks, the only thing you can start thinking about is, okay, there's even dollar levels. You go way back in the daily or pre-split to try and find some significant levels. But this is the kind of pain that we are seeing. There's going to be some buying opportunities. But for now, you know, you just ride this train. And when you got it to the short side, when we go sideways that long, sometimes you got to hold on a little bit longer. It's almost worth it to just say to yourself, you know, forget about that target. Maybe you just try to hold it until at least lunchtime to get a better idea. Maybe that lunchtime bottom is just a better metric than finding support when we're free falling like this.
All right, we'll go, whoa, 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 whoa. Sometimes the market just flings you out like that. And with Facebook right now, man, we're just multiple longs down here defending 198. So we just took another piece out. It's 80 cents in the money on this name. But yeah, look, I mean, this we do the trade of the day based on analytics and stuff like that. But this 272, like Neil just mentioned there on Microsoft, I mean, that came in and it was so nice. We liked it twice. And we hit that 272 short, man, both times. And then it just fell down. Our best out, though, unfortunately, I believe is right here, 267. So $5 winner there on Microsoft. But we started with it simply just by scalping it. And by scalping it, I mean, these are still $2 winners. It's just, it was bouncing off the 50 period until finally it broke. And then when it broke that's when we started getting some 268 bids. And then it went all the way down to 265 for us. And we were still short 272. So it was $7. And then it wound up coming back up and we got out. But if you see what Microsoft's done since then, you know, it's kind of just baselined here a little bit at this 265. So that could be an area of concern if you're looking long. Hello. Right now, yeah, the market's ripping right here back to the upside. And the other trade that was the most frustrating stock for me today was going to simply be Apple, because again, on our sticky note, we have 156 as short written down, and that would now be 350 in the money that we missed it. So Facebook, we just talked about that. We keep buying the bottoms here. We've only been long today. We had a mistake trade in there by going short. That was just an accident. We got out right away. And after that, man, it's just been all longs. And you know what? I mean, Facebook's down 2.5. The market's down 3.5. So Facebook is stronger. We're in the money now. I believe Facebook at least travels back to 2 bills. And that's where I want to get the rest of these out. So it's a little greedy here on Facebook, but I like it. If we can get it back to $200, then we'll get some out. But look at these futures. I mean, it's going to want to go lower today. I think we can all agree on that one. But you know, it keeps bumping up and getting hit back down. So if in order for us to start to rip, we got to take out this level, 12,350, because like there it is, higher. Like these are all lower highs, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high again. So that means the next one's probably down here if we retrace back. So we need to start holding out. Like we need to take out some of these lower highs so that the trend can change, right? I mean, I know we're above the 50 period here, but you got to get through all this in the last hour. So if we can get above 12,350, then I think we're cooking with some gas. But right now, Palantir starting to go back up, man. I mean, these buys started to be a little lower. Now you're about, I mean, I'm only 4 cents in the money, but hopefully we can get back to this 58, 59 level, and then we can really start getting something out. But Palantir trying to work out a little bit here for us back upside. So I think that's pretty good. Oh, and then AMD. AMD was another one. We went long defending 90. We talked about that. We got to that about as fast as you can, and then reversed it into the short, and then we covered at 88.52. So there is a short tick in here. I don't know if you guys, hopefully, yeah, it's right there, that purple. So we reversed into the short, was able to take about 70, 50, 60, 70 cents, and then held that last piece down there for that 50 period break of 88.50. Obviously, it's down to 86 right now. And this is a dangerous spot also, man. AMD down 10%. Like, what in the heck is going? Oh, wow, that chart is nasty. Right there. Watch out for an 82.50 bottom. I don't think today, but this is going to be one of those days, man. And we're actually starting to bleed a little bit now, man. 3.5%. I think we're near 4. So let's see if they can retest that. It looks like it's taking the 50 period to the downside one more time.
Yeah, I definitely had to pick and choose your spots if you're looking on the long side today, but not everything is going down. Blue water vaccines. A few people still talking about this BWV. Long story short, currently there's a 4 million float. They come out and they say they're going to add 2.43 million to that, and the stock goes up 50%. So there's that. BWV still just popped up on volume, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Oil, guys, wanted to mention oil as well. Here we go. Here's a chart of oil. We'll put it over top of BWV. 6%, 6.4% to the downside here. In the pre-market this morning, we were actually, this doesn't show up, but we were actually up at one point. But back to the downside for oil in a big way. It was 8% top to bottom on this.
This was, I mean, there's a million things that you could have shorted this morning, so you can't get upset that you missed out on any of these opportunities. But there was a quadruple top on the daily, maybe even more so than that on Occidental, which is what I was watching this morning. I said if we're below 110 a barrel and we're still in shooting distance of that 65, I wanted to short the pop. Now it did seem at one point this morning there was going to be a little bit of a bounce to maybe test that high. And if you try to put a head and shoulders, it was a little bit closer to 64. 64 quarter, where that would have made a ton of sense. But there was just not really much of any strength when you got at the open, and it never really gave you the entry point and just absolutely flushed. Now, I'm talking Oxy in particular. This is always going to move a little bit more than oil futures themselves, but you can't be upset that you missed out. The way I look at it is if you get a breakout style trade, like if we end up going the other way, and you short it at 63.5 instead of 64, 25. Like you're giving up 75 cents there, which is probably half your risk all the way to that 65 top. And that's not a good way to go about it. You either get your price, you don't. And there were plenty of things where if you were looking for a short today, you got your price and you got your entry point. Unfortunately, Oxy wasn't one of them. And this is, I mean, Warren Buffett just added to this thing last week at the highs, and even it's pulling back. It's worth mentioning it has been riding the 50 period, this last little move. So the question becomes, can we hold above that price? Maybe there's a bit of a small relief rally individually for Oxy. It's held this pretty well, down around 57.5 off the 50 period. You'll see the last couple of weeks that that's been a pretty good level. So maybe it's got a bit of a bounce in it. We'll be looking at that 50 period tomorrow morning for sure.
Okay, alert on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's bouncing off 30,000, but it's not really bouncing at all. I mean, it went to 30,800 and it retraced back to 31 and change. So just watch out for this trade here as Bitcoin, you know, it's been a pretty nasty break, man. Even just in the last 2 hours, you're down 10%. So you're down from 33,000 here at, well, I guess that was 10 o'clock, and now it's 2 o'clock, so not the last hour. But even from there, man, it bounced back to 32.5. I guess that's about 2 hours. So in 2 hours, yeah, you are down about that 8 or so % there on BTC. So you know, I don't want to say look out below because we do have that 30,000 looking at that straight in the face. And we did find out, I was looking to Microsoft to possibly short, but I'm also trying to get longer on Facebook off 198. So pay attention to that trade. What is it? MSTR here, MicroStrategy. We are looking at it, and apparently their average price now 30,200 on Bitcoin. So they are like floating right now around that. I mean, they've made some bad purchases, I guess, but I mean, hey, this company is just Bitcoin, and it's like, okay, if you want to trade, I don't even know how they're allowed to basically just be all Bitcoin. Like they should be an ETF or something at that point, but they're getting hit today again, down 23%. So yikes for anybody on MSTR. This is a very dangerous name to trade here. The spread is quite frankly too big for me. You're at $1 now, $1.20, $1.30 to trade that. So that's too big. So what I would say, anybody looking to short Bitcoin, which I may get involved in this. I didn't trade ETH at all today or anything like that, but GBTC, you can see right now breaking below. It does a good job of actually following Bitcoin, so down 16 and a bit % if you want to look at that. On the minute chart, here it is. You know, here's the fall in the last 2 hours, or about, that's not even 2 hours, that's up here, down to 2050. 2095 looks like it's holding. So, you know, if you're into Bitcoin, you can see that's pretty liquid. You can get some fills, but if you are trading on your platform, make sure that they allow you. So some won't, or will have it blocked, and you have to put out some margin to get short on this one. So watch out for GBTC and ETHE here as we're just going through all the names. Look at Fisker, man, 52-week lows. You said, I don't know.
Look at Coinbase right now, down 18%, underneath 85. Like that, we gap below 100. Like there wasn't even 100 break to be had. Like it gapped below $100.
There's
and
Tesla
now you're staring
again,
at 85. Tesla just keeps breaking and going back and forth at 800. Someone asked in the chat, what's the next level? On the daily on Tesla, it's 760.
Right.
And that's, and by the way, that's not to say that Tesla's going to 760 if it breaks 800 today. You only have 90 minutes for the rest of the market. But if you're looking, you know.
No, it probably is going there, man. I mean, if the market.
Well, if we make another leg down, that's the real stop. And we ran away from that level. So that's what we're looking at here. And it was twice a good bottom, or at 760. I went a little bit further the first time, but that's a big, big level on Tesla. That goes. And remember below that, you're talking 666. You're talking, what was it? I think it was like a 587, 540. I'm trying to remember the levels from way back when.
Oh,
but
500?
I remember 666, that's for sure. That was a big one on Tesla, but we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet. It's just been nasty. We're talking about oil quickly. There it goes, by the way. Tesla down to 798. Only $2 move down, but it did just break 800 again. Our Palantir is just like back down to that 738. I mean, I'm debating getting, here it is right here. I'm debating getting a little bit, I mean, I might as well get a little bit more here on Palantir. I mean, what the, might as well. Okay, so we'll try that again. And then our Facebook is getting close to a reload. I mean, I'm surprised I'm not reloaded into this yet. I do have a stop, though, at 197, basically. Shoot, it's going to break it right now. I didn't even really realize what was happening in the market. The market is back down to its days low, so, or close enough, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
We're right there.
So we just took it down. So I thought we were down 4%, but looks like this is the low at 3.7. So, yeah, we're not going to hold Facebook to the death. I mean, we've done a great job today, I feel like, navigating this market, over 250 fills. So So far so good, but okay, Facebook, I see you. You see what I'm talking about? Like, we got a good position on now for Facebook and cashing it out here as it's going. Well, am I going to get out is the question, but trying to cash it out here. I just hit offer enter and it didn't do anything. So hopefully that'll come back down up a little bit and run me over a little bit as we go back up to the upside here on Facebook. But waiting in the high 30s, come on, baby. There we go. Print us. There it is. Yeah, 30. There it is. Yeah, sir. A nice little move there. So we'll floss it off. And again, we're just scalping. You can see all these trades here and trade your own book. I mean, a lot of you aren't going to be able to do this. I still believe in 200 coming. But again, like, I'm just reloading. I'm reloading, scalping it out, taking the profits. Neil and I get paid to trade here, obviously, depending on the gateway that you use. It's like market making. So, this is not costing me $4.99 to trade or anything like that. We actually get rebates most of the time when we trade. So let's wait to see if Facebook can go. We just took a 198.10 out at 40 for 20%, 30%. Now let's see if it goes higher than this. Next target's right here near view up 199. Hopefully we can get it.
Hey, you're mentioning longs here. The only other long I do have an Intel long, but if you remember back to the last couple of weeks, 43 is it's like a 6-year level on Intel. So when we got down here today, it's like, okay, well, if we're going to manage to hold that in the morning, we're going to go for the scalp trade. And I've already done it once. I'm back on the bid at 43.20, and it's just been such a monster level. If it breaks, it stands for a reason. I'm going to get out if it breaks 43. There's no question about it. But it's been a huge one. If you go to the daily, forget about the fact that it was a 2022 bottom. I can go as far back as you want when this loads up, but you're talking 2021, 2020. 2019, it was the low, all the way back to 2017. So pretty significant level. I'm going long in front of it on Intel. Decent chance that if the market can hold this low area, this low band, that we can get a bit of a bounce on what is one of the more attractive valuations out there. Speaking of which, there has been some strength, right, Brendan?
Somewhere, somehow. I'll show you in a second here. Just going back to MicroStrategy real quick, guys. I was just looking up at the end of last year, so the beginning of 2022. Their debt was $2.25 billion. So they're paying interest on $2.25 billion, and their position is basically flat or thereabouts in the overall market. So, yeah, that's getting a little spicy for MSTR. There are a few things showing a little bit of strength today, guys. Where is the strength? It's in consumer stocks, and specifically consumer staple stocks. If we go back to the board here real quick, it's hard to see, but TSN, which is in that box right there, Tyson Foods, they reported, so all of the food-related names, they reported better than expected earnings. So all of the food-related names back to the upside today. A couple of retailers as well. Home Depot having a nice day, back to the upside, 2.5%. Walmart having a nice day, up 2% as well. So, yeah, you got to look carefully, but there are a few that are positive.
It's interesting because on my quote board, the only ones I got in here that are positive, I have Walmart on there, I got Pepsi on there, I got J&J. Procter was at one point. I don't know why Procter's up. I don't know why it's not showing. Moderna was up strong and not anymore, but it's Walmart, I think, that stands out because of the nature of the strength that it's had all morning. It's seemingly not budging, even when I say that as it starts to roll over. Obviously, it's like the market's tanking. Yeah, it's a jinx that I even just brought it up, but it's trying to get back up above what was a previous significant level in the daily. It's always had trouble at that 152, and you sort of look at this when it pulled back to make that recent high through 160, 152 was support, and now you're essentially breaching it, retesting the 50 period. It doesn't look. Like when you look at this channel, again, it's always good when you break back up off of a low. But if you don't get past the next level of resistance, even if it's strong, not great. If we can't settle at least above 150, 151 in a stock like this, then you're maybe retesting some of these bottoms. Holding out 150 and the market making a bit of a bounce here, hoping this is like a temporary bottom, that's a great base here for a stock like a Walmart. But you've got to be paying attention to relative strength and weakness in a market like this, because you get that relative strength, that'll give you some cover on days if you're looking for little long plays to be able to make when there's a little bit of a bounce. This is a good sector. But even Walmart, as we speak, the market, when you break 4,000 on the ES, a level like this, and break the lows at 230, it almost doesn't matter. Even a strong stock is going to start to come back in here. It's not going to resist that pull, as now both Palantir and that Intel trade are both out of the money, heading towards the bottoms.
Yeah. All right, so like that Intel, like that 6-year bottom, like that's going to be nice too to trade off that one. Well, one thing I want to get at, so we're going to, I mean, if Microsoft can ever get back near 265.50 or so, where that 50 period is, I would love to short that. Mistake not doing that one. Facebook breaks 198, sorry, like we said, and we're out there. So that's about a 20-cent hit or so on the last little piece there. Remember, we were getting some out on the way up. We were talking about scalping it, so that's exactly what we did, and that's why we started to scalp it. If you want to look here, there is some size on Palantir at 35. Not that I think that that's going to hold into 100. Can you get my face off there or whatever, Fahd, just for a second? There it is right there. So you can see that size there at 35. So there is some size there to maybe protect it. Yeah. It's not even a trap. Like, that's not even that much size. But, okay, hopefully it'll bounce back up and we don't have to worry about it. But right now, that is there. So we just did a little bit of a reload in front of that size. So let's see what happens now with that trade. Like I said, we got out of Facebook. The market looks like it's trying to rally a bit here. So that may get us into that Microsoft short. So it looks like, yes, sir, it is coming back up. Where's my offer on Softy? And why am I not short, first of all? I was in the 70. Oh, don't tell me. I was trying to short 70. Okay, it only went to 55. All right. So 265.70 is short for Softy if it comes in. I could get rid of these candles and make it look a little bit nicer for you. But okay, so there's a reload on Palantir and a little 4-cent out. I can't believe I'm scalping it for 4 cents, but we are right now doing that. Hopefully we get back up to 60 like we said on a nice move back. Yeah, wow, Facebook. We got out of that move. It touches 197.50, still looking like it wants to stay down there, so watch out for that one. And then I didn't ignore, I just kept getting sidetracked, like what else is new for me? But right here, XLE. Like, honestly, guys, this name down, we got into our Microsoft short, by the way, so right there, all right. I just got to look at this again. But what I wanted to say was that XLE trade right here, like, this is probably worth it, man. I mean, you're down near the 50 period, so again, every asset class today, I mean, Microsoft short's working out. I better look into this one before I start
BWV's turning.
Talking too much about this here. But
I
like XLE long.
Actually, I'll tell you about a stink bid that I got today. I didn't think I'd get it. I put it in last week on a Canadian bank. BWV, Brennan brought this name to us. I mean, obviously, there's not a heck of a lot that's going to be up 60% on a day like today. And if it's going to be a smaller cap, and it's likely going to be a low floater. But if you remember the last time it got up here, it did have sort of right at the close and in the after hours was having trouble getting through 630 and then ended up sort of settling there before gapping down. It just made one press in here to 635. I have the 15-minute chart up. But this is what happened when it broke 6, tried to get up to the 635, and is now trying to make a consolidation. So I started in after this last parabolic move to the upside. I'll work some more at 620 with the stop at the high of the day. Just looking for that standard, pullback trade after it goes parabolic. That was a good volume spike, however, so there's a chance it wants to actually test last week's tops, which is a little bit higher as I showed on the 15-minute. But I'm in it for the first time here today on BWV, and it's been one of the few names, oddly enough, on a 420 break this morning. So I know you guys absolutely love those prices whenever it holds up. It's the weirdest thing in this market. The number of small cap stocks that will actually have a pre-market high break or a mid-morning breakout at $4.20 is a little bit comical to me. But either way, the addition to that 420 break from here is about 50% gain from the breakout price. I always like that kind of symmetry. If it takes out the high, I'm out, because I think it could always squeeze even more than this. That high is currently 635.
So we just got a fill in our long-term account on XLE, but the Canadian equivalent ZEO here. I'm not even going to call it up, but anyway, I can. It's down the same amount. So ZEO here in Toronto, it's down a little bit better, 548. I was looking at it. I just feel like some of these, that's it. I'll just tell you that because I just got the fill, so, that's fine. But look at this, 76.20 right now. It's just back down to the 50 period. So that's it, right? I want to be long energy. I still feel like that story is nowhere near being done. I know it's a monster rally in energy prices, and maybe it does fade out a little bit and we come back into here somewhere like that, back to 66, 68. But you're collecting the dividend, and I just like these. I like these tools here to roll with. So we're going to do that, and we are back into ZEO, more shares, not back in. We never sold any of that to begin with. Okay, Microsoft. We took profit, and where's my minute chart there? We took profit on 40%, and now the other part's starting to get blown out to the upside as the 50 period just got taken also on the NASDAQ. So we're getting close right now for Microsoft 266. Okay, I got to get a little more short now into Microsoft as it's up here. This is what I want. I wish I would have got it a little bit better price, but we'll just put it on the offer here. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. And then it's really just this high that we're going to get out of if it takes it out. That's 266.50. So let's watch out here. If Softy takes out 266.50, we'll give a little bit back. But this has been an absolute monster trade for me today. The 272 short, it's my best trade all day, and it's my #1 profitable stock. So we'll see if we can keep the boat going here on Softy. Rivian still $2 in the money. Trying to look at 23 again. I'm happy if it takes that look. We will not punch the short here because it's been built up so well at this level, but I still feel like we could take this down 23 flat again here on Rivian. So there it is, Microsoft. Okay, let's take a bid out there. Can we get it? Yes, we can. Bang again, man. It's chicken dinner winter time. Like, we just shorted that, guys. We just shorted Microsoft 266. I said I was waiting for that level. That's a 70-cent winner with my eyes closed right there. So hopefully we can get printed. We just did. We'll see if we can get some more out here. But Microsoft on that. And that's what we talk about all the time on the show, right? Is that be prepared that if the market moves, that you have a plan of action and there's a stock that you want to take. So we wanted to get Microsoft on any sort of a bump back up. It hit some key levels, and there it is again on that reload right here, right? Reloaded, boom, 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 all the way to the downside. Microsoft, let's go, man. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day, man. It's been a good day for us. Hopefully the market will hold up for the long-term accounts and for Palantir, but Microsoft short, 50 cents in the money. Rivian short, $2, then we only have that Palantir. Brendan mentioned everything in the food space is doing well today.
Not
Beyond
I already
Meat.
knew you were gonna say. I was gonna say not them.
Yeah, they're down
I knew not
13%, and I know that's not. I'm just saying that's not what Brendan didn't mean. These kind of companies.
Well, obviously he didn't mean that.
Obviously not. So just joking about Beyond Meat, but it just continues to get flushed down, man. I mean, deals with McDonald's don't seem to matter. Deals with KFC don't seem to matter. You know, you're not making money in this environment, and it's going to be a rough ride. Beyond Meat just 3 days ago was $42. Now you're down to $31. I mean, the destruction of retail accounts, and we were talking about that earlier in our meeting today, has been absolutely embarrassing because even my account, like, there's so many names were long. Palantir is one of them. Clover's another one. Thank God we're out of Donkey Kong, but that's down.
Ooh,
Donkey Kong is $11 right now.
That short this morning was one of the most gorgeous.
You know, I mean, they had a good report, I thought, where their numbers weren't half bad. I believe it was probably this day. One of the days it was starting to go, and I was like, I think we still shorted it. We might have even lost on the short, but down to 11 and change. Like, I know there needs to be consolidation in this space, but wow, DraftKings, man, like, hold my beer. This one just keeps getting crushed.
So, BWV did try to take out the high there.
All right.
It did. Well, it did. It stopped me out at the high, then immediately rejected the break. So I'm just pretty much right back into it. The same little thing that we'll do. And you don't hit this well. You don't go back to the well a million times. But if it's going to do a failed break after a parabolic move like that, I'm just going to try to jump back in at pretty much the same price. If you're still watching Tesla, it's still doing that dance, but we're southbound of 800 right now. We just bounced off 4,000 on the ES. We've been looking at volatility, by the way. We're at these lows without a break back on UVXY to the top. So that's one other thing to watch out for. If we break out 19 on UVXY and head back towards Friday's top, which is the high today, then things could get really, really spicy for that downturn. That's a type of environment where, you know, hitting something at the low is a little bit more enticing. But yeah, UVXY or, you know, VXX, whichever one you happen to be watching, and there goes that BWV, now heading back down. Hopefully we'll be able to make it back. This is why I always jump back into the trade. If it's still valid, then sometimes you have to get right back into it regardless of what the previous result was. So back into this name, but I'm watching that UVXY. If it breaks out the top, I mean, I got some Virgin Galactic on, Rivian as well to the short side, but I guarantee you there's no chance that Rivian's going to hold up 23s if we make a fresh high on volatility.
I also did want to give a big shout out to, there he is, he's right in the chat right now. Big shout out to Bears vs. Bulls Media. Thank you so much. We have a new moderator on board, so hopefully that'll help control some stuff. And not just that. I mean, yeah, shout out to Bears. Yeah, what are you trying to hit? I'll just hit this for Bears Bulls Media. I don't know. What do you got?
I was trying to find something a little
I mean, we
better,
got, oh, here, this is pretty good. Here, how about this?
I thought we had a bull or something. Don't we have a bull?
We have so many things, man, and then, I mean, I got this one. Oh, here we go. That's a bear, right? So bear.
How do we not have a bull?
I do. I have this.
It doesn't.
The bull.
Yeah, there it is.
Anyways, shout out to Bear Bulls Media. Thank you so much for helping make our chat a better place. And the thing is, too, is even this morning on Prad's show, someone mentioned, what were Arun's levels, and then he tagged the morning show. So you can definitely check that out. So we have a lot of things in the works now, including a few different changes coming. Trader Prad will be sitting here beside us soon. We have a few different things happening with the stream and whatnot. So we're super excited to move forward. And thank you to everybody for the super chats and for the continued, support of the show. I mean, liking and sharing and following all of us on Twitter. And trust me, man, I mean, me and Neil, we were actually talking, again, in our meeting today, we were talking about how to try to get more validation for our accounts. Like, I don't know if Twitter...
Well, there's still that fake thing happening.
Shout out to Elon Musk, man. I mean, get that blue check mark beside my damn name. Because
although I love it, a couple of people have said they'll message me like, hey, I'm trolling this guy that's faking your account.
You should see. I had Daniel Shea, and we had her on the other day. She said she reported like 7 fake accounts for me. And I was like, what? And then even somebody else the other day said, I could actually find it was yesterday. He was like, oh my God, my day has finally, or my career's been made. Trader TV Sean has finally followed me. And then I had to tell him that it wasn't me, that it was a fake account.
Well, I messed with
But then the People's Trader followed him back.
I messed with you. There was a dude that actually messaged me, and he was like, "I'm Sean," and I'm like, "This is gonna be." This is gonna be fun.
Why would someone do that?
You can ignore it, or you can be like,
I message Neil on your cell phone and not
I got 10 minutes right now. I can mess with this dude. Why not? You do realize. I mean, come on, man. Like, at least, you know what?
It's the worst when our friends get involved.
If you gotta be a leech or a scam artist, have some pride in your game and do some research. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't care what shady business you're in. You could at least have some personal pride.
I don't know if we should be calling out these guys because now they're going to be like opening up more accounts. But again, just a public service announcement here. Like, honestly, check to make sure it's at Trader TV Sean, spelt the proper way with no exclamation marks, no double S's, no Sean spelled S-E-A-N, none of that crap. Just make sure it's legit. And I'll try to follow you guys back anyways, if that's that. And Neil and I, look, we have our communication with a lot of you on Messenger. If you've been talking with us, great. But we're not going to be reaching out to anybody to sell Bitcoin scams or anything like that. Come on, you guys know better than us. We don't have anything to sell right now other than a membership. So
we don't sell anything.
Shout out to everybody.
Exactly.
Quickly. So that was just a little quick service announcement. And Bears versus Bulls. Thanks for joining the team, and we'll hopefully have a long partnership as well. So right now, Softy, this, I mean, in here on these purple, and again, if you're joining us for the first time, any kind of purple tick is a short, and then anything following that, of course, would be a cover. If you see red ticks, like on Palantir here, oh man, those wicks again. These are me getting long. If you see it followed by red, those are outs. So, long here at 36, out at 45, so on and so forth. And I just took a piece out there. I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but a little piece out there on Palantir. All right, let's just keep this party started or keep it going now anyways. Yeah, WhatsApp, yeah, exactly. We talk to each other properly. It's funny when our friends message us and be like, hey man, was that you? And I was like, what do you mean was that us?
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing.
What are our friends even doing?
I'm not going to call the person out because it's just embarrassing on their part, but they're like, yo man, were you trying to sell me
that's what we were doing.
You want me to send you Bitcoin? I'm like, yeah, because I would actually go to my Twitter handle when I talk to you every day on WhatsApp, but that's what I'm going to do. And
Sean
what I absolutely
me tacos.
love, Erica Oliver, I messaged you last week.
Javier
what did I say? As long as I'm not telling you have pineapple on pizza, then it's not the end of the world. But what I love is when you guys
that's how you know it's a real account.
Well, see, have
because
fun
secretly
with it.
Neil loves pineapple.
But just say something to them that obviously they should be able to get, and then have fun if you want to, but don't waste your time. I think that's the point. This market's keeps trying to bounce here, and I keep making these reloads on like Intel, a little bit on Palantir. I think you're doing the same thing. But if they break the bottoms, forget about it. Kimberly Clark showing some strength here today. And you have to note these strong names. And thank you for the super chat there. It was Andrew. Andrew is ready. Andrew, you're ready. You're ready. You're locked and loaded if you're already doing the diligent work of finding some strong names. And if you see something like Kimberly Clark, which is up on a day like today, which holding that 200 period moving average and has a channel worth breaking, this is the kind of thing where the market recovers and you get a 146 breakout. Room to run, right? And I'm not saying it's going to break 146. I'm saying this is relative strength that it's already put in a nasty bottom. The market is trying to make its own bottom. And if you're looking for something that has that, possible chance to make a nice break, that's 10% to the high at 160 if it can get out of here. Does it still have to go? Sure. It's got work to do. And is it always going to be the most volatile name? No, absolutely not. But the day that it makes a shot at that 146, we can always look at it. I have to come back over to BWV because It was just somebody in front of $6, and you can see it bouncing off of 6 on EdgeX for 16,000 shares, sort of flashing and causing it to spike up. You know, it got to level 1, so they might be a real order, but that's why it looks like it's holding up at the $6 range. So it's made the high, it's pulled back, it's consolidating. It can't break 6, I think, until it gets through that order. But 16,000 shares in a $6 stock, it's done 27 million, isn't a heck of a lot. I mentioned Palantir here trying to make a bit of a bounce, Intel trying to make a little bit of a bounce. But as shallow as these have been, going to be scalping on the way up to VWAP on all of these names. And if you're still looking at Rivian,
oh shit,
yeah, that 23 bid, man. It's catching a bid. Tesla just held 800. Some of these longs might start to work at least a little bit on this little market bounce that we're seeing here, but still 3.4 on the NASDAQ to the downside.
Yeah, yuck. I made, oh man, I had 2 orders to get out down there, or up there at 60 on a break of Microsoft. So we're stuck long right now. Good thing it's not a lot of shares, but this is a mistake. We didn't mean to do it. And I just looked over now and I was like, oh my God, as the market, because I was looking for more shorts. And as the market goes down, I realized that I'm stuck long here on it. And it's a keystroke error. Unfortunately, it just moved too fast or else I would have punched out right away. Look at Softy, man, making that move back down. So we don't want this long, but unfortunately, when you make those keystrokes, you got to pay the piper here for that. But Microsoft also did have some nice bids. And I'm not changing my opinion here. I want to get out of this name ASAP. Now it's $1. Like, look at this, man. We were short. And then in one candle, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, this is how violent these names
nasty.
can get. Like, you know, nasty moves downside there, right back to the 50 period. So, you know, this could be another area to try to get long, but I don't know if we want to average in, like, into this spot here. Microsoft's been weak. We want the short. Unfortunately, we did put 2 orders there. My mistake on that one. But just looking here, 265.50 just got taken out. So yeah, this is the downside move right now on Softy. Looking to protect that level, but the real level is this bottom at 264. So 265, I guess. So it's coming into play. Let's see if it can bounce off there. The NASDAQ dirty move down. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, the market's starting to fade out here one more time. The AMD short is really what I was looking for. And then I realized that this Microsoft just clapped. But look at this. AMD, again, upside. It broke higher. Like, so we were going to try to short this into this 86.90 or so area, which would have been great. Instead, we're caught on this Softy. So let's average in a little bit. Ooh, that just went down to 265.20 there. Let's take this against this bottom for Softy. I don't mind it, but these wicks are just so nasty here.
Yeah, and that Intel holding 43 dream could come to a rapid end here, but a level like that, we're going to play it pretty much every single time. But it's like the Palantir. Like, you find something that's at the bottom, it holds or it doesn't. It's a very binary style trade. And we're not really breaking the lows. And I think that's the other thing to keep in mind. Like, for now, we're not in the power hour yet, but if I'll zoom in on the NASDAQ on my 15 so you can see, 15-minute chart, and we're just sort of slowly grinding. We keep taking the bottom and then getting these little bounces. It's whipsaw action you're seeing. So either you have something you love that you're scalping off, or you try to be patient with these levels. Like, I'm not running away from the Intel trade just because it makes a tick down. As a matter of fact, it just held.
Come on, Softy.
Now it's right back. It's right back to even. Palantir just goes right back in the money here. So we're inside this range.
Look at
anything like this. If we don't break the lows, we have so much room to go up. Look at that whipsaw.
Do you want to see something hilarious? I mean, check the chart out. I averaged into the long. And then it literally, bang, right now. There it is, man. Now we're short. Okay, I got to really settle the hell down here because we're back and forth and around now. Part fill short. So we made all that back right there, and it wound up being a moot point. Oh, come on. Now it's going back upside against me. But okay, whatever. We have a small position. It's too bad I got to keep talking about it, but this is just so you see here how chaotic this is. Like, we accidentally got long up there. We averaged in against the bottom, and it's not even the bottom, and then it ripped back up, and then now we're flat. So there it is. Now we're flat on Microsoft. It's still my #1 stock. We're fine. We took a little bit of a hit on that move, but there it is, man. A wild ride, to say the least, today on Mr. Softy. But I love you, Mr. Softy. So we'll still watch that one. And what I was going to do on that AMD was try to think about a short. So let's wait. I mean, the NASDAQ is very, very jittery right now. I almost think it's better to sit it out and just see if we take out some of these highs, you know, like back to 13,340. And we talked about this before. Remember when I was saying just a couple minutes ago, I was like, lower high, you know, lower high, lower high, lower high. So it's still creating this pattern. I mean, I'm not big for drawing these lines, but I mean, anybody can do this right here. It's got a It's got a, whoa, not anybody can do it. I mean, I can't do it apparently. Right there, but this pattern right into here, trying to take this out right now on Softy. So that could be something right there on the NASDAQ, not on Microsoft, where look, coincides with up here, comes in, looks like we're trying to break it. So maybe if we could stay above even 12,300, we might be okay. But these new highs just keep getting made and then faded right back in. So yikes, man, the NASDAQ just doesn't know what it wants to do. And we're not going to wait for the imbalances. I mean, those are an hour away. I still feel like I want to be short.
Yeah, I mean, the trend is certainly with us, unless you have a really good level, like I said, and that's what we're going to work with. I see. Look, Alan and Dom were both talking about CYN, and I do know that it got mentioned this morning. It was a pretty busy morning in the market. I don't know if anyone noticed that. So there were a few names that did get missed as the market was absolutely, defecating all over itself. But CYN, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be upset with myself for missing this because I did trade it last week, and the levels that it held today were pretty much exactly where it turned back on Thursday. So back at 460, that's exactly the short that we had in the afternoon. If you look at where it's turning right now, that's pretty much the morning short from Thursday, which is at 435 area. So both of these are pretty interesting levels that it's getting to, and the volume's starting to die down. You can't really see unless I'll try to do this so you guys can see the volume. The volume actually dying down. Even on that last little pop, it's not really even registering a blip. You can't even see it above the position board there. So that last little pop that got you to the Thursday morning high has been on relatively low volume, as impressive as I suppose it does look on the lower time frame chart there. So, it's on my radar, but that's a pretty low level volume move. 460 is a big level. 480 stands out there as well. That'd be a good channel. I just don't trust almost anything to the upside at this point. I'd rather be buying in front of support than buying breakouts in this market. Brendo?
Another one pretty ugly right now, guys. Just made a new day low as well. Airbnb, the CEO saying on Twitter, going back an hour or so ago, that big things were coming. What day was it? May 11th. Watch out for big changes for Airbnb. But day lows once again.
Jeez.
How much
What?
is Airbnb down?
Don't even look at Airbnb. Do you know the price? Can you guess?
Well, I mean, I haven't looked at it today, so I can't.
Yeah,
I mean, I have no
well,
clue. It's not under 100, is it?
No, it's not that low. I guess it's just because I didn't realize it. But 120, I didn't realize it was this low. I have not stepped into this name, and I've wanted to, and I wanted to at around 150 right here. But I guess they reported, right, a couple days ago, and then but they reported better. They reported, I remember, because I was thinking the long, and it worked.
Yeah, it was a good report. You're right.
Yeah, it was like 5 to 8% that day. So I think it was just those wicks there, up to 163 or so. And then, can you double check that, Brennan? Didn't Airbnb report like May 2nd or 3rd or 4th or something like that? And then it's just been like, what in the heck? I like this name, and actually the wife and I were actually looking, and I was talking to Neil about vacation time because we can't book the same days off, and she was on Airbnb. I think a lot of people are using it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's big to come with them, but
I don't know how we're doing the draft if we can't take vacation at the same time.
yeah, don't worry about the draft. We'll figure that out at some point. But yeah, we're talking about our NFL draft. So
And we're
trying to go to Dallas.
And we're going to do an Airbnb. We're going to get... Anyways.
Right, this is what I'm saying. So
I like Airbnb too.
I like Airbnb too. So I don't know what's going on with this name. I guess we'll have to wait for May 11th, which is in 2 days. But I mean, what are they going to say? Like, I mean, are they in partnerships with Apple? They're doing like an Airbnb Apple thing or something? Like, I don't know. I'm just, obviously that doesn't make any sense. But maybe TripAdvisor, Expedia, something like that. This is the first I've heard of that, but this is worth picking up, man. Airbnb, just like Palantir, just like all these stocks, like we're now back below. Is that true? Airbnb is below the IPO, I guess, now. So all the way back down below 120. This is an interesting name for me, man, right now. What's up, Brendo?
It's interesting that they come out with this today, guys. I was reading on the weekend that Marriott, the hotel brand, was going to get into short-term, I guess, rentals or leases for individuals' property. So Marriott stepping into the Airbnb market as well.
All right.
So, hey, a little bit of a bounce in the market. Where's this one, man? Let's just go to Brennan more often because we just bounced. That 43 that looked like it was going to break on Intel didn't break, but we get to VWAP, and I'm going to take a few shares out here. It's struggled every time it's gotten to VWAP, so if I keep buying the dips, I was trying to get 43.05. It goes to 43.08, and now you're going to come to VWAP. You definitely got to be taking some out. And it's a similar thing with Palantir, PLTR. I mean, I'll say the ticker if we don't know the actual company and no one really is familiar with the company, like a CYN, but not with Palantir. Back up to this 745. I do feel like I know it's just only 5 cents in the money, but at this point, like, you got to take every pop that you can get in this market, and then watch out for the names that aren't or starting to come back in. Like, I'm still in Virgin Galactic, which I unsuccessfully tried to have be the stock that I was last short last week. And I'm like, this will be the last thing I give up on in the short trade. And then it was so close. It was right at 349. I had to cover it before something else. But it just made zero bounce off of its lows. It's still grinding toward the bottoms. I just shorted it when it took out the all-time low, which was 630. I didn't even get it at the open. I've been holding it ever since. But a bit of a bounce here in the market. It's only about 20 or 30 points on the NASDAQ. But you got to take anything that you can get if you're trying any of these longs. Rivian's still close enough to that 23. I want to hold for a break of that 23 rather than take a 23 break. I think that makes some sense. There's room to the downside still, but you can't ignore the fact the market is trying here.
Hopefully it also makes dollars and cents there. The worst joke of the day. Hi, I'm Sean.
Oh, they'll be worse.
Okay, let's go. All right, so just to give you guys an update here, I am going to go long AMD on an 87 break, so get ready. We'll see if it breaks that one to the upside. I just feel like it has some room to go, obviously, here, AMD. So let's see if it can get back to the upside here, down 9%. Some room to go, yeah, hello. Down 9% has more than a room to go. It has 10% to go to get back to flat here. And it's just because we've trend changed here. The NASDAQ also, we talked about that line look, violation, it's now above it. So hopefully we can, try to look for some longs now in said market. And then if it's going to go, I like AMD, but I'm violating my own rules because AMD's down 9%. Normally this would be a fade there on AMD up to 87. It's just, I feel, I'm just thinking the market has space here back to go to the upside. We've danced around this number a little bit here on the NASDAQ down to 12,000. Let's see if it can take out 87 here. And then if we get it, I mean, how many shares? I'm probably trying a little too many, but we'll try it anyways. 87 break, and then probably back to this 50 period if we're wrong of 86.25-ish. So we'll see. If that 50 period changes, obviously we'll alter ourselves. But darn, that should have been a short, man. We'd be in the money nice on that short. And then just a quick update on Palantir. Look, to take one of Neil's lines, it's just been like, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, because right there, yeah, you have it.
I got it.
There it is. That's Neil. Are you looking at it in the mouth? You have some Palantir trades as well. But it came right back into 43, 44, and we did take out 10% more there. So we're still in this name. I mean, we're here to play, but that is a name that we're looking at here. PLTR right now, trying to get this back to the upside. My out is down here at 30. So if I'm going to take 5 cents, 10 cents worth of risk on this name, it's well worth it for me now on PLTR. We're getting close to getting punched into AMD though, guys.
And speaking of close to getting punched in AMD, that means Intel's probably going up, which it just hit 44.45, headed back into the upside. It's not screaming up here, but it's catching a bit of a bid. So we're going to try and ring these registers. I'm going to mention this next name because you have to. If we're catching a bit of a bounce, we're not going to ignore the fact that somebody is reporting tomorrow that maybe people know the name of, AMC, which just got off a quadruple bottom at 1260. You might have heard of them, maybe you haven't.
Nah.
But that had broken a monster level on the daily. This 13 got taken out. I mean, what didn't break a monster level this morning, but it bears mentioning. And look what it's trying to do. You got this nice little bottom it's put in. It's always squeeze potential. I understand that 13 definitely looming here. We get above that price. And anyone that dug in, shorting at lows, could be in at least a little bit of trouble. That's the thing. Like when you get off of these bottoms, sometimes you've trapped some shorts at the bottom. That's just the reality. It wouldn't take. I'm not saying they're going to have a good report. That is the last thing I'm saying here. However, they don't necessarily have to have a great report for there to be a bit of a squeeze to that upside, given the types of bottoms we've been seeing here, Brendan.
Yeah, another one in that category, guys. Peloton out before the market tomorrow. In the morning. So big bounce here, 8% just popped up on volume as well.
Some famous trader, I'm not sure who it was, said that Peloton was just like slapping an iPad on a bike. Can't remember who that was, but someone had said that.
What was that guy's name again?
I don't know. Some guy that loves James Harden and wears old gangster Houston Rockets James Harden jerseys. Do you know the guy? I can't remember who it is. But
he's got
there's somebody who's mentioning it. But
a handsome young man on the screen right there. I think it's that guy.
He's too focused.
He didn't even know he was on.
Nah, he doesn't know.
Pay attention, Brad.
He's looking at James Harden highlights over there. Okay, so here we go.
Harden's overrated, man.
Just a quick one here. I still got the Sixers, man, and the other guy has the Bucks. But with Joel Embiid, man, we're talking different right now. Okay, so right now, and James Harden. I mean, I don't know. They're pretty dangerous when they're playing, but attitude in the NBA is a major factor.
Hard to put at them bricks.
Yeah,
Step
he was
back,
good
clank,
actually.
Clank.
Harden, I think he's right. I think Harden is like the 4th or 5th most for the playoffs as far as scoring is concerned. They're all time in the NBA. There was some stat yesterday I saw it. I'll have to see what it is. But I know. I'm with you.
You know what I'm going to say about
okay, so right now, AMD, all right, so it did take out that 87. Obviously, the market's falling down. We did get out of 30% around 87.30. Unfortunately, there it is right there. Well, actually, 87, 20s and then 25s and then 18s. So, yeah, it's coming back in. But we're long 87.10. I don't want to give this to a break here. So if we break back down to VWAP, I'm not going to – I'm obviously if it goes down, I'm going to be giving back some money on the day for sure because it's a losing trade. But we don't want to give back too much, And I already not yelled, but my kid back there was like, "Oh, I shorted Rivian. I got stopped out." But the thing is like you got to make sure that you don't put on too much risk and lose your whole day.
I want to make a good point about that.
On one idea.
Multiple traders this morning. It's not just it wasn't just Baxt. There was multiple traders that were saying when the imbalances came out on Rivian and everyone was sort of sitting in the short positions, they got stopped out. And one of the rules that, and whether it's a parabolic move or when you're shorting a pop at the open, there's a time period where you almost don't want to be taking aggressive fills. It's like between 9:25 and 9:30. Like that little pocket averaging in, wait for it. If you're in a short at that point, like ask yourself, if at 9:20 you're in one of those shorts, and have an amount of shares that you can hold through a push, or simply just sit it out until you get that open spike, because we're very defined places. Like there was a defined area in front of 24, and then when the spike came in right into the open, you wanted to wait till that settled down, because look what it did to 26. You wanted to wait for that to settle down, then get the prices you want. If you're still shorting it below 24 when it made that spike, you were just screwed. But there were chances to get the short at 25, which was okay back into 24.30, and then let it spike up there again. You've got to be so patient lately off of the open. It really tests your mettle, because you'll sit there watching a $20 stock go, $1, $2, think that's a good entry point. Look how much opportunity there is. But you still have to be that extra layer of patience. And as we continue to move up here, or attempt to move up here, I just feel like I got to take more Palantir off. Like it's not really going the way that it did the first time we got down here. It's not going. It can't. And given that the market still looks relatively weak, we just pull back a bit. Going to have to take more Palantir off, and considering taking more Intel off, because if all it wants to give is like 20, 30 cents, and maybe that's all we should be taking, just be happy that any long is working at this point.
Yeah, we told you, May 3rd Airbnb. So that's exactly what that chart was. So thanks, Brendan, for that one. And that's exactly what we thought. Like, what the heck is going on with Airbnb? All right, so AMD will relieve some pressure there. I was trying to get longer at 60. We didn't get the fill. But again, we'll relieve a little bit of pressure, just taking out 10 more percent on that move there. I like for this one to win, but the market there just resisted that break. So I think we're okay now. We'll see if it goes. And then like Neil, we did lighten up a little bit on our PLTR as it's trying to get back up to the upside off some of these bids. I still think we retest VWAP, which is 57 there on Palantir. So we could dance with that a little bit if it wants to go. AMD's back there. Let's check out what Softy's doing. Still, oh man, oh, that's too bad, because we were long Softy, as you guys know, down there, and then we screwed it up. But there it is, 267.40 was just the top. And look where it went to. It went to VWAP as well there. So if you're looking at my charts, the purple or pink or whatever it shows up on your screen there is the 50-period moving average on a minute chart. So I believe it's an exponential one. There goes Softy. Here we go. And then here we go to AMD. Hopefully rocketing back up. Man, not getting that fill sucks down there to the downside. But there goes Microsoft. There goes AMD. There goes Palantir. Now all to the upside. The longs are cashing in
they're coming in
right now. So far, so good on that one. Oil's starting to go. You say oil coming in?
No,
oil's starting to go back
everything.
up. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm seeing that everything start to bounce back. I want that 750 to break on Palantir. Earlier on, there was some icebergs at that price. I see you, Dom. That CYN is also making a move to the high of the day. BWV made it break out through the top. Nvidia's starting to go. If you're watching Tesla here, it just got back through 800. It still needs to break, like 808, 810. If it gets out of here, then you can really start going. But for me, it's just Palantir and Intel. Intel back at 43.50, so that's starting to make some power moves. Nvidia just cleared through a pretty key level. There we go. Like that's that morning bottom, 172, starting to break back out. That's what has to happen. You have to consolidate higher. You got to break out. We haven't been able to see that all morning. And guess what's helping out? UVXY just bounced off the morning lows. If it gets through this 825, Well, you can forget about turnaround Tuesday. We'll go for a little bit more of a bounce here. This is a double bottom this morning on 1825 on UVXY. Whether you're watching a VXX, doesn't matter. It'll be the same thing. We chew through these bottoms. That should be the market making another run going into this start of Power Hour, which for now, hey, we got some longs that are working. Probably means I'll have to get out of Virgin Galactic in about 5 cents or so.
Yeah, Virgin, those funny trade that.
I can never hold that short. It's just,
nah, you got to sometimes you got to close your eyes, like that Rivian trade. I mean, I know you did a good point there about the open, and I forgot there was a lot of traders that got stopped out off that market on open imbalance. But yeah, you got to give yourself some room in the pre-market, and that's the one thing. Like I said to Greg, like, oh man, I wish I had more shares. He's like, oh, you always kill the pre-market, but no, not at all. Like sometimes the pre-market, the volume just does what it wants to do, and stocks can be influenced by like 1 or 2 big orders and then go the complete opposite way when the market finally does open up. So just watch out for that. Ooh, Vinco Ventures right now just broke through $3. Look at AMD, man. We were just getting, like, we just got some out there on AMD. Look at that bit. Look at that out. Wow. 50s. So, I mean, that's a 40-cent win. We can lose it all now and it'd be fine, but lose it all. It's coming back in right now. And then look, wow. Look how fast these stocks drop. Like, how long did it take us to get all the way up here on Palantir? You know, and then in just a matter of, I mean, it didn't take that long, but look at this one candle, bang, to the downside there. Like, there's no love in a lot of these names, guys. So watch out. The market definitely feels like it wants to go lower, and these names just are helping it out. And there we go, the violation. Remember, we drew this line on the NASDAQ, and it was perfect. It broke. It stayed upside, and now we're going to retest downside again on this. So watch out here. All these names starting to work a little bit, but then they turned around. So AMD turned around on us. We're going to try to get long. Remember, if it breaks through, now we have 86.50. So if we break 86.50, we can get out. So, you know, we do have some target prices in here for some of these trades, and if they hit, they hit. We're still in Rivian as well. That's trying to make lows again. I don't really want to trade this name, so if there's any other names, I just mentioned BBIG there, BBIG, Vinco Ventures breaking back down below 3. I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. So no real movement on Vinco here. And the shout out to Dell, the day trader, and Jason. Yeah, Airbnb. What? You guys are 10% in the money already on Airbnb? Is that can't be true?
No, that didn't bounce 10%.
No, right there. So yeah, someone said they bought it down here. I think it was Jason said he bought it at 120, and it went up to 122. I guess $2.
Trading options.
Yeah, $2. Oh, options.
They're trading
maybe.
options.
Good call.
Well, no, I'm assuming they're trading.
You're right. Good call.
I'm
I think
assuming
that's
you're
right.
trading options
Yeah.
if you're saying you're up 10%,
Yeah.
which is perfectly valid. A bounce like that.
Zila just went parabolic to Niraj. What's up, Niraj? There.
Yeah, but that's still.
What?
Okay. Look, man.
Zila's 30 cents?
I was gonna tell you, it's a penny stock, man. It's a penny stock now.
Ay, ay, ay.
Which, look, first, and that doesn't mean you can't
Where's
trade
Veru?
it. It's just that you have to understand it's a little bit of a different ballgame. It's making a strong move, but
8.
you know, just change. You got to change the way you trade. And first of all, you know, whether it's up to shares or get adjusted to like the price shaving,
Whatever it
it's
is,
just
yeah.
a totally different ballgame when you start talking about trading penny stocks. But let's go. Let's see if we can't continue this rally. We just retested the bottoms on UVXY. I'm going to take some more shares out of it. 43.50. Has been a little bit of a temporary wall here for Intel, and I apologize already because for whatever reason I have 2 blocks of like missing data on my Intel chart, and it's only Intel, and it makes no sense to me. But it's like nothing happened for like 2-hour stretches in Intel. We just got through 750 on Palantir, so that's continuing to churn. If you're watching Tesla, I always kind of come back to this to see if it's making the moves. This is happening without Tesla catching much of a bid off of 800. So you're seeing. I don't want to say it's the more quality names, but maybe the better valuations or cheaper names, or the names that have gone down way too far. Not way too far, but made more significant bottoms seem to be bouncing here. Like Palantir, very significant bottom. Intel, relative good valuation. I'm going to assume Micron's making a pretty decent bounce too, but I could be absolutely wrong. No, it's not. Micron was strong this morning. It's making a decent bounce. It's back at VWAP, but not a huge one. Not what I expect to see. I'd expect to see that through VWAP with the charge that I'm seeing on Intel.
Yeah, I was just looking myself here at some of these plays, and including AMD. We did not get that long down there, so that kind of sucks. We were hoping to get that long down on AMD, the reload long, sorry, on that name. It doesn't look like that's going to come through, so we miss out the opportunity on that one right now on AMD, but we're still waiting there for that. My bid is right here, man, 86.60. So if it comes down and fills us, that's where we're waiting for. Otherwise, we're still long 87.10. No offers here on AMD except for high side, 87.60. So, you know, we're bidding 86.60. We're offering 87.60. So trying to make that dollar if we can, and if we're lucky enough to do that on that name. So that's going to be good to go so far. So that was BBIG. I want to look at Veru. You know, like some of these names, I'm actually surprised that some of them even have held up like this, but Veru today back down to that $8. If you're looking at a daily chart, your rate, this is why I just want to bring it up, because your rate into this 50 period and 200 period on a daily, right? And so a stock like this that's made a monster move over the last little while has sort of held up pretty decently. But if you break below some of these levels, you're going to get machines turned on that are going to start shorting these things, right? And through some of these levels. So just watch out. Wow, okay. Palantir, hello. What is the market doing? Okay, yeah, the market's ripping. So there goes Palantir, man. This is a nice win for us. 17 cents right now in the money on PLTR. It doesn't look huge, but there's the move back upside. We started buying this live on the show, so that's why we're gonna go swish, swish there. Too bad about the Raptors, but there it is. We'll hit that swish. I think the Raptors will be back next year with vengeance.
What did we ever really think?
We'll sign. You know who we're looking at? Rudy Gobert. So right there to the upside, we'll see. I mean, if we get Rudy Gobert, I'm telling you, watch out now on that one, because put some defense. We're already about defense. You cannot violate the perimeter. Our guys are 6'8", hanging out in the perimeter, and then if you get in the middle and Rudy Gobert's standing there. Anyways, I don't know if that strife is true between him and Mitchell, but apparently it is. So
well, if it is, then
we're looking at Rudy Gobert.
I want to jump on that Veru for a quick second, because there was a day, I think it was a couple of days when you were gone, and Arun and I were looking at this, and I had the day 2 and Arun had the day 1, and I was like, I liked it, but I didn't love it. When they consolidate down at these bottoms, you've got to be aware that there's always a chance for the jailbreak. If you look at the bottom break of this channel at 850, if we gap back above that price and reestablish it as a bit of a long opportunity, there will be breaks to be had with some obvious stop points. And that's the key. Like, there will be obvious outs for you, whether it's $8 or potentially even the 850 itself. So that one just got on my radar for tomorrow. Just put it down. I'll make sure I get the alert in as well. Arun will be happy about that, because using alerts is valuable. There's two ways. You can either sit there and want a level and have the chart up and stare at it all day long, or you can just set up a simple alert, which is a fantastic tool that we have. I keep getting more shares out of Palantir, and it's not that I don't believe it can get to VWAP. It's just that
it's pretty much there.
It's pretty much there, but this isn't exactly like it's as weak as the market was. The bottoms that we've put in here, you'd expect to see a little bit more acceleration than we're seeing right now. So on the off chance that we head back to these lows, I think making sure you profit from these off these bottoms, if you got them, go ahead and do that. It's just been that kind of market. You've been rewarded if you've been sort of quick to take your profits on those longs. And then understand what type of a market that we are in, which, for now is a bit of a bear market. You can get great bounces, but if you're not making sure you grab the profit on these longs, I don't know what you're doing. I know we haven't really traded Rivian. I still say there's nothing to do down here at these bottoms. This is not the stock that I want to be going long 23 in front of. It's been working if you wanted, but I think risk, taking 20, 30 cent scalps on Palantir off of its type of a low as opposed to Rivian, where there's more shares to be sold fundamentally out there, that's just not the one I want to catch bids on. Like in this environment, I think it's one you want to short pops on and then just try not to get squoze on this name. As I say that, it's right back down, retesting 23 even. At some point, got to get out of the short. But I'm going to give this one till the close.
Apparently, our man Steve G out there has been trading Duke Energy. And if you have, then bang, that's for you there, Steve G. Shout out to all you guys. You wanted one. There it is. Nice little move for Duke Energy. I don't know why you're trading it today or not, but it's up $3, up 0.5%. I had no idea. When I called up DUK and I was like, this is at 112. Wow. Duke Energy, it's just been doing... I didn't realize it. I thought it'd even be a little bit higher than this, but a nice move bouncing off the 50 period. So there's a big shout out to you guys, my friends out there, hopefully cashing in on some DUK today. So there's the bang for you on that one. Meanwhile, as Stephen Colbert says, we are now looking at a few different names. Palantir's out. We just talked about that. I want to look at Starbucks right now, starting to head to the downside as we are now in the power hour. Wow. I didn't even think it would be 320 already, 317. That's pretty good. Fast. Starbucks, okay, so the interesting thing about Starbucks, and we've talked about this on the daily chart again, is that you're still a little ways away from that Did I just get filled on something? No. A little ways away. Sometimes when my screen flickers, I'm like, what's that? A little way away from that bottom of 73.50. We're not far away. We may break that tomorrow, but there's not that many names that have been under fire, kind of like Starbucks has, I feel like, that is still kind of holding up on these levels. You've seen Microsoft break that 270 down to 265 today. Obviously, we know Apple broke that 160 level, but it's kind of hovered around. And Starbucks is kind of doing the same thing, but it's been really killed since January, like a lot of these stocks. But I'm wondering if it's close to time to pick up a few more shares there. But anyways, regardless, Starbucks is a downside move there. And then AMD, man, I mean, we're going to just try to hold the rest now. I mean, I'm not getting any reloads. It is what it is. We went long here. We've just been sort of scalping this out. AMD is going to be a good trade for us today, but we need a little more cash on this. So hopefully we can retake some of these levels. And I don't want to scalp this, trust me, but like in and out here, there's not much happening. So I am sitting here trying to get long, but look what's happened. The 50 period is cruised upside. So we actually have to adjust our long. We should be getting long earlier than this. We should be getting long right here now, about 86.90 or so. So let's put a bid 86.90, see if we can reload lower, because this has come up. So we'd have more protection now, and it makes sense because this protection's right here. So we should be able to take a little bit of a bigger long now on AMD and see if it works. My out is up here. We're trying to make it to like close to 88 into this consolidation. So let's put a bid a little lower. A little higher, but still lower than this. 86. I'm going to put a bid like, I'm going to try 86.90. Why not? 86.90. Let's put a bid 86.90 if we're lucky enough to get a drop down, fine. Right now, 25 cents in the money on this name, 20 cents in the money on Palantir, and $2 in the money on Rivian.
Yeah, let's knock on some wood here that this isn't like foreboding bad news, but Palantir's starting to roll over a bit at 55. This is a 3-minute.
I mean, we're almost out.
I almost have all of it out myself. It's just like you got to take some profit, I do think. And I'm only going to do this once because, yes, I said squoze.
That's a word. We proved it was.
I got it.
You got it. Okay.
This is Webster's squoze, past tense of squeeze. Now I'm just like probably most of you in thinking that there's no chance that was an actual word. I was educated by Trader Prad or Platinum Prad.
Which doesn't happen often.
Doesn't happen very often, but he was, look, man, I'll admit it. He was right. He was right and I was wrong. I still think it's a ridiculous word, obviously. And if someone used it in Scrabble, I'd call them out for sure. But yeah, squoze. And we use it all the time. Don't get squoze on any of these. Don't get squoze on.
Just like aluminium. You know, he was right. He was right about aluminium.
I still chuckle.
The British. I know.
It's true. I know that's how people say it, but I just, not me. I can't.
Okay, so you know what? Normally I'd hold this a little longer, this AMD, but it's slippery slope right now. It's coming to the downside. So we got that 90 fill, like we said. There it is. We're out. So it broke that level. We tried it. We'll go downside. The bubble popped on that AMD trade. We tried it again. Didn't work. We gave back a little bit of money there on that move. We tried it, man. It broke back down in the futures. And again, look what happened here. Before I speak sometimes, you got to really check the trend of the market. It broke back down there, as with AMD. They both basically broke at the same time. So that stock done for me down to sounds. I almost gave it to 86.50, like I was debating that. If that's going to be the bottom, I'm going to be pretty upset, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the bottom. So we should have given this one a little bit more room. So maybe we'll punch in a little bit more long, but here it comes back in now. So we don't want to just keep playing this game of like, catching these falling knives, although I don't think AMD really is. When it's down this percentage point, for sure, it looks like it's the end of the world. But, it can bounce up $1. It can tank $1 on us right now. So maybe we'll stay away from AMD down that 9%. We just tried it. It was fine, but we just, we gave back like what we've been doing the last 20 minutes. We gave it all back there on that move down. So that sucks, right? And so we never want to do that. But AMD now trying to break 50, and there it goes. So I'm actually glad we used 60 as our out, because I just would have lost 10 more cents there. So try to be disciplined on all this. Neil highlighted Palantir. I have actually exactly 10% left on this trade. We may average into that. I'd rather give it back down here to 737 again. I think that's what we'll do. My stop order is still down here for that break. So if Palantir does fall, we'll say Merry Christmas and try to catch that knife down here to 737. I'm going to put the bid right now.
Speaking of falling, the Rivian bid at 23 has maybe 85,000 shares on it, which, if you're counting, is significantly lower than the 71 million in volume that it's doing today. So that's not much. But one of the things that'll stand in front of it, though, is the fact that it's short sell restricted, being down 20%. So obviously, it'll be tricky for anyone to try to hit that bid or remove liquidity to try to catch that bid. But there's always liquidity on a name like this, even though it is that SSR. So I'm holding through to see if it breaks down from here. This market just took a hard right turn. And if you're wondering why it took a hard right turn, and this is the thing, like we were talking about UVXY, like if we bounce off this and start heading back up, that's a place to take. If you don't break if you don't break that support on volatility, then you want to make sure you're getting profits on your longs. And if we're not breaking out at 19 here, then you can hold on to some of those short trades. But let's see what happens as we get another bounce. We have not broken the range on volatility, which I think is why we're getting this slow grind to the downside as opposed to just abject panic at the close here, Ms. V.
Hey guys, I want to give a big shout out to our new moderator, Bearish versus Bulls Market, for doing a great job on the chat, taking care of it. And while I'm here, of course, I want to ask you for likes, team. Please make sure you like this video. Busy day overall, but closing show also need your support. We are now at almost 600 likes, which we're super close to that 1K. And with 4,100 people, we should do it very quick. So please click that like button, and back to you guys.
Yeah, what's up, Bears Bulls? Hopefully we'll get that rocking and rolling on the moderation side. Thank you for joining the chat for that.
30,000 could break.
Yeah, Rivian, by the way, Neil just was like, oh God, it just broke. I was like, what? It was like Rivian, bang, to the downside. We have Rivian right now still short, taking down the day's low. And did I even write here short all day? Like, it's right here on the sticky notes. Hopefully you find me at Trader TV, Sean, the real one, and you'll be able to find the sticky note. If Bears versus Bulls or Valeria put the sticky note up there for everybody on the chat, that'd be great. The link is right there. And then here's what we talked about earlier, man, all day. Rivian, short 25, 24s. That's what we wanted. Just take the short any pops. I guess I got to focus on my cell phone camera there as we go. But that is the sticky note, and it is cash money today, including most of these plays are on there, and we had them early. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, unbelievable volume coming back in here, guys, for not only Rivian, but the overall market, including MDVL. Remember this one? Back to the upside. This one went from a penny stock to 350 going back to a month ago. Just made a day high there on a huge volume spike. You can see 27%. Back downside. 10% short interest on this one. It got some short squeeze mentions this morning online. So big move for MDVL.
And one I missed today, but it never really quite got to 250. I was looking at MDVL, 250 was the level, maybe like 35 to 50 in that range on the 15-minute. Maybe we'll watch that for tomorrow. But wow, so that 23 break would have worked. It did go right to like 86 on Rivian. So you probably at best you were getting something in the 90s, and now it's just churning. Now 2260 is falling like an absolute rock, and this is why not this name for picking a bottom. Right, like there were plenty of other places to go to. Like we said, Palantir showed it. Palantir showed the relative strength, I think, pretty early in the session that it had a chance to bounce. Intel was doing some similar things to give you that indication it was going to be the play. But never on Rivian was there that kind of an indication. And understand fundamentally, it's got reasons why it's very unlikely done. The selling has to happen. Aftermarket, I think it's aftermarket today. Or is it AMC? It's before tomorrow. I don't remember if it's aftermarket or if it's actually going to be before the open tomorrow. But just made another bounce off its low. It's finding support at 1265, and it's been doing that pretty much all morning long. Now, there's not that much time in the day, and it's a quad bottom, 3 cents off the low. So, hey, AMC lovers, I don't mind paying the 5 cents. It's basically been giving you this gift all day long. So there's scalp trades to be have off the bottoms, and the futures are about to maybe take a shot at that 4,000. If you can try to catch something with 5 cents worth of risk, I mean, AMC, if it bounces from here, it's not only going 5 cents, right? I think we all know that. So worth a shot here, but I just took it for the first time today.
Oh, I was looking for this. Okay, good. My wife, so thank you. This was 23 hours ago. I don't really follow her on Twitter too much. But here it is right here. This is my daughter. Look at this. Bang, right there. You see that? This is what I'm talking about. See that podium? You see anybody else on that podium? Yeah, there should be. She got silver. I don't know why she's in first here, but there it is right there. Watch this. Bang! I love that right there.
She intimidated
very, very
the person
proud.
that won.
Yeah, she doesn't. And she's so much taller than everybody else. It was like ridiculous. There it is, putting it on, and Boom, there it is right there. That present, man. Love her so much, obviously. Happy Mother's Day and to everybody as well. We had a great day there. But there she is right there. And boom again, what's up? So anyways, that was that. I didn't even see that. So there it is right there. Congratulations to her for that. We're pretty proud of her and pretty happy. So, okay, now let's go. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, I wanted to short AMC. That's what I had up here. So look, I hate to say this, but I just... You know, I mean...
Until it breaks, it hasn't broken.
Until it breaks, until it's broke, it's not brokes. Right there. But I don't know. If it breaks, I want to get short. And I know that's going to go against everybody and people are going to add me and leave the chat and all that stuff. But this show is about trading. And honestly, like...
No one's leaving.
It's just, yeah, hopefully no one's leaving the chat. But 1260, like, if AMC breaks that level... I just don't know, like the way that the stock market has been treating earnings and whether or not you're a bull, bear, anything like that on AMC and APE. Shout out to the apes as well. I mean, look, I got to give respect to traders that hold these positions. I mean, if you believe in something so much that you're holding it, that's fine. And there's so many stocks that have gotten hit even way harder than AMC to the downside. So I don't want to sit here and say that AMC is a dead stock. I actually like some of the things that they're doing. I just feel like heading into the report tomorrow or tonight, whatever. Did we confirm that if that was pre or post market? If we could do that, Ms. V or Brendo there for AMC. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be tomorrow's trade. But if you don't hold that level today, I just wonder if people will be fearful of what's below 1250. So,
yes,
you know, let's just wait to see if it takes it down. I mean, here it is on the daily or 20-minute. We haven't been here in a while. So it's not beating up on any stocks. It's just, it's near a level that, hey, if I take away this name, if you don't put AMC here and a stock that looks like this, I'm shorting that break. So this is not against anybody here at all for AMC. I mean, I was long AMC in the heyday, not anymore. But right now, if it breaks that level with earnings, we saw Palantir get hit, man. Yeah. And not to say that AMC is equivalent to any of these names, but when levels get broken, you know, we send it to the downside. So just watch out there. I am going short. Just to give you the price, 59. 59 breaks, I'm short on AMC.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. You got to get out of the longs too. Tesla just broke again the low of the day. This time
look at Rivian.
This time it's holding below. It's at 795 and going down. Like that 23 break on Rivian is now 22.5. Somehow my Intel's flat, and I'm considering if we don't hold 4,000, we just broke 4,000 on the ES. If the NASDAQ can't hold 12.2, which is the current low, it doesn't even matter that 43 is holding on Intel. I'll probably just get out of it anyways because there's only 20 minutes till the imbalances come out. I'm not thinking about is it worth it to take a 22.50 break on Rivian after not taking the 23. I'll probably pass on it, but man, this just got really ugly. It's a good thing. I wanted to say it's a good thing we got out of most of the Palantir, but you know what? We're talking about the relative strength in Palantir. Yeah, well, it's not really pulling back all that much either. It's
holding up.
I would have expected we'd be sitting at these lows. So I'm going to cancel my other offer at VWAP because if we bounce from here, guess what? Palantir could go to like 65 or 70, at least the way that it's reacting to this downward move in the overall market. And speaking of the downward move, hey, if 4,000 holds, if the NASDAQ holds the bottom and you got a long that didn't stop out, well, you got a chance in the next 15 minutes that'll give you that little bit of a spike. Just take the profit when it gives it to you because there's no guarantees. If we get a sell imbalance today, I mean, forget about it. So I would be taking the profit off this bounce if we get another one off these lows.
Yeah, the only thing guaranteed tomorrow is that the market will open up one more time to what prices and what levels. We do not know.
Except for that one time that it didn't because it opened on the circuit breaker and then didn't open. Which only happened, we've been trading a long time. That was the only time I've ever seen that, right? In 20, however many years we've been trading.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm not going to say how many, but.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Yeah, what's up to everybody? I want to give a big thank you to Christian as well. Christian, thank you so much, man. See, you respond to my tweets, I respond to you. Thanks, Christian. So thank you, Christian, for that. It does mean a lot to the wife and I, and we're really proud of her. But let's just talk about some trading one more time here. All right, so AMD, we're out of that way. What else do you guys want to trade today with us? We already talked about AMC. GME's on a move. Look at Tesla, man, sub 800 right now, and still, unfortunately, making that move downside here. Tesla right now taking down the day's low, and just looks like it wants to go lower, lower, lower. So yeah, that sucks. I completely understand everybody's frustrations with some of these plays, especially a play like this on Tesla, where I don't know. I was watching from home that day when it tanked down to 830, and I was like, I got to buy that. But today, this is not on Elon selling $8 billion worth.
Nope.
This is on the market coming back in. And speak about our friend Elon there. Yeah, I don't know if he's a friend of Twitter shareholders. I did not dump my shares like I said I was going to. I probably should. If the upside is really 54.20 and the downside is like infinitely lower, like I don't know where this goes if he pulls his bid. I mean, every single market now, Neil, as you know, is getting hit to the downside. So what about a Twitter that's been around for 15, you said Intel's at the same spot for 6 years. So Intel's been dead money for 6 years collecting a dividend. Twitter doesn't even have a dividend. So like if this stock falls down, I mean, where are we going to go on Twitter? So that's, where's my daily chart? Here it is. I don't know, man. Elon came to save the day here at 39. I mean, imagine the sort of anarchy that's happened since April in this market. You know, does Twitter go sub 30 on an Elon rug pull? So I don't know. Let's watch out here to see if something comes through on that. I saw a tweet of him today saying, if anything suspicious happens to me, it's the Russians. Like, I have no idea what even that means. I feel like Elon's getting a little unhinged here from the market a little bit.
I hope you're just messing around kind of thing.
Oh, so do I, but yeah. I just mean like is that really something that you want somebody tweeting that's like involved in all this? I mean, look, I support him. I'm a Tesla shareholder and a Twitter one, but I don't know, man. I wonder where we are with all of this. That's all.
I'll tell you where we're at with volatility, breaking through that consolidation that we've had pretty much all day long here. And yeah, we just got through that 19 on UVXY. If we get to the top, I mean, you can forget it. But I know coming from Financial Juice, where you can find some of the early imbalances, it looks
saying?
It's saying a 669 million buy-side imbalance.
Okay, I could believe that.
Right, now, if we get a buy-side imbalance, there's a chance you can get the market bounced. Just remember, you know, we're getting a bit of a break here on volatility, so you'd like to see a bit of a turn. Like, I wouldn't trust a turn in the long unless we get a break back in volatility. I saw someone joking around saying this is a short show. I'm like, okay, it's a day trading show. And in a day trading show, truth of the matter is the trades are going to be about the current short-term direction.
I mean,
so that's what it's all about. Like,
you know, the Nasdaq's down 4%, the S&P's down 3%. I mean, do you want me to go long?
What trades are you going to be making?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't mean to be short everything. I mean, we're long Palantir.
I still have some intel, which it's not going to last too much longer, but I still have some.
My Facebook longs were basically all that cash for me today. So, yeah, I don't take offense to anything like that. I think it's a compliment, man. I mean, you guys are focused on our trades. That's exactly what we want you guys to be. But take your own trades for sure. New trade alert for sure, as it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride for AMC today. But we're going to see if it now, there it is. What's up, Ms. V on the end there? Alert, because we are now into AMC. So, and no offense to anybody, but we are now short 58s. We took it on a 59 or 60 break. It must have been a 59 break, so we punched 58s, okay. So now we're short rate here on this name. So let's wait to see if indeed it comes back through here. Of course, that is our friend AMC. I'm bidding near 50s, see if we can take a piece out like that, and then we'll see from there. But right now we are bidding downside 50s on AMC. What's up, B?
First time I've mentioned this, but here we go again. SWCH popping up on more buyout chatter, guys. So I think it was this day, or maybe this day. We went all the way up to recent highs on the same rumors, but 3% downside, trying to get back higher for SWCH.
Well, pretty much whatever it is, you're probably getting a bit of a discount, and that's why you'll start to see some more deals likely happen here. By the way, Rivian, that 2250 break, I'm glad I didn't take it, because it just completely rejected that breakdown. I'm still in BTTX, and Dominic's like, yeah, you should have held it all day. I did, but I'm going to get out now because we got 25 minutes until the end of the day. But wow, Rivian, and this is a tricky thing about shorting breakdowns like this. Like 23 fine, but 2250, it just showed you like 5 cents and then smacked back to the upside there. So a little bit of a turn happening. The NASDAQ ends up holding 12.2, which I'll show you this way, ends up holding that 12.2 bottom. So it does not manage to break out. That means there's still anything it's managed to hold support, I think you can hang on to, which is not very much. When Tesla broke 800, Intel somehow has still not done it. But I still want to see that turn. It's a slight turn in UVXY, but it's not below that 19 mark. And if you're watching VIX, the levels will be different, but it's pretty much the same thing. The charts are going to follow each other. I just use UVXY because that's what it's easier for us to track here on our platform. I will have to get out of Virgin Galactic. There's not much you can do about it at this particular point. It doesn't look like it's going to fall any further. But this is what I meant about Tesla. Like, you broke the lows, held 790. Like, this is where you can get those potential decent jailbreaks, is when you get some reasons to be short on a 95 break, or when it takes out the low, maybe you get a small buy imbalance, you hold a key level on both the NASDAQ and the ES, and then suddenly you're back up at 810, and then there is that little long trade. I prefer Intel, which we have, and Palantir, which is already showing some relative strength, as opposed to Tesla. But, I honestly, I could definitely see why anybody would take a shot off of these lows, as long as you get that turn in volatility. If we're continuing to make fresh highs there, I think that's a crazy trade. You want to see that curl, get back below 19, and you have more confidence in that long.
All right, wow, 338 already. We will be, Bitcoin drops more than 10% today. Also Ether, so that's just a little update there on what's been happening in the crypto markets. Pray for crypto is all I can say. If you break that 30,000, just watch out, man. I mean, all these equity classes are just keep getting killed like every day, and I mean, crypto is no more. But I'm still long crypto. I haven't been selling anything. I did get in and out at 40. We did talk about that, but I'm holding a core position, so I also want crypto to bounce off here for sure. But if it goes lower, I mean, we still have our future, so hopefully we'll be able to buy some more and then let it ride up. I saw someone say, like, I don't know how people come up with these things, but it's like, oh, if crypto tests 20,000, the next level is 179,000. It's like, what? I don't know where people are coming up with this, but someone said, hey, what's up? Yeah, Sean is more of a bull, Neil's more of a bear. Yeah, okay. I'll take that. Ebony and Ivory. Yeah, okay, that's a good one too. All right, so shout out to Tyrone. All right, so right there, AMC to the downside. Yeah, I mean, today, man, I've been very, very bearish on this market, and we started with it early. The last couple, Tyrone, and I know you know this, but the last couple sticky notes of mine have been littered with shorts, and so the bulls versus Bears winning out here for me today and forever, it looks like, until this market can finally find a footing. But there's AMC. We just took 51s out a little while ago, and I said to everybody that, hey, I'm just trading price action. That's what I do best. And there it is right there, a nice little AMC break. And it's not like this is tanking. It's not even coming close to doing that. Let's see what happens at 50. Is there size at 50? Yeah. So a little bit of size there at 50. Let's just test it, see where we go. We could retrace higher here. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But we're going to sit into this short and see what happens. Palantir holding up okay, which is pretty unbelievable considering where the market is. But still, down 21% is far from holding up. So right now, Palantir just holding that 730 bottom, which has been pretty good. Ford, what's up to Randy? I hope he's ironing those jorts because he's going to be coming back through here in the next couple of days on those jorts. My wife told me that jorts are in for ladies right now. I don't know if that's true or not. Randy's a man, so I'll leave it at that. Okay, so right now, $14 for Ford broke, obviously, and now you're into the downside right now, trying to break some levels here. Ford looks ugly, but I still like this name. If you're going to be in the EV space, I think you take Ford. And again, they have the capacity to make these vehicles. So if EV is going to be a thing, like Rivian and Lucid and all that, I don't know. I'm now thinking, like, are they going to have enough capital to stay afloat to produce these cars? Are they going to need to get bought out? Like, I need to do a little bit of work here.
Well, what's Ford's PE? Because GM's like GM's like 5 or 6.
I was going to say 7 or 8.
So you know what I mean? Like, you're getting single digits on that. And if you think where would you rather step to first or step in front of first?
Yeah, Ford is 6. Yeah.
Right. Like at that relatively cheap, you still have some of the exposure. Right, so it makes a lot of sense to me, but I'm looking for a few things that are really beaten up here that are making interesting bottoms I want to get to because we're getting to that time of day where you're also thinking about prep work for tomorrow. I'm watching the channel on Roblox here, 24.5 to 25, just holding the channel, consolidating, not really breaking the lows after being in the midst of a breakdown through this 30. Like, that's the kind of level. If it holds, we open up with a chance at a 25 break. Your stops at that bottom, 24.50. It's just little things like that are what I'm looking for. In addition to, hey, we already know what's going on with Palantir. We definitely know about Intel. Whitey's asking if we've seen the Lucid showroom at Yorkdale. Oddly enough,
Is there one?
I think we put it on the show. Like, I thought we had a picture of it.
No, I did. I had the Tesla.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I had the Tesla one in Sherway. I was in, excuse me,
Sure
I was
the
actually,
Lucid one? So
I mean, someone probably has one. Send it over, and we'll.
I thought like Brendan showed it or
Wait a
something.
minute, how
once.
would somebody send something over? Maybe tweet it at one of us, and we'll be able to show that on the show.
Yeah.
But I don't know any Lucids that are even
I'm sure it's
available
nice.
here in Canada. But okay.
We were driving back from our hike yesterday,
saw
my
one?
wife and I. Well, no. Well, here's my point. Is we see all these Teslas on the road, and I said to her in that moment, I go, I see Tesla here, Tesla there. I don't see any of these other vehicles, and I'm not saying they're not.
Well,
out
because
there.
they're not producing.
It's
them.
just they're not producing like Tesla is, and that's just the reality. That's why we sort of talk about Tesla.
We were
because
in
they are
the,
best, right?
yeah, I was in the Sherway. I was in Sherway this week, and yeah, they have the beautiful Tesla dealership. Well, I guess they don't have dealerships. Well, they do have a couple. There's one in Oakville, but showroom, and it was loaded with Teslas and loaded with people. What's up, Brendo?
Allegedly, it is real. I have not been there in a while, so I haven't seen this. But here's a picture from March, actually. This is March 2022. Lucid Motors Studio, Toronto, Yorkdale. There you go.
Okay, that's funny because I don't know how new that is. Like I was just in Yorkdale not too long ago, so I'm surprised I didn't see that one. Yorkdale is an absolutely beautiful mall, by the way. I prefer Sherway, but okay, Yorkdale.
Yeah, I like Sherway too.
Yeah, Yorkdale is just very busy.
Sherway had that really good. I forget the name of it, but it had the really good brunch spot. Whatever.
Well, they have Pickle Barrel there. They have a few other. Oh, they have a Cactus Club. They have a Cactus Club. They have a Joey Owen.
Oh, we love Cactus Club. Let's get back there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's UVXY. I just got out of my Intel. I punched out of Intel when this happened on UVXY. Like, see that? Right back up toward those tops. Top, as William Kassouf would say. That guy's a bit of a joker, but I love my poker brats. But yeah, there we go. Right to that high, I should say, from last week. A double top from last week in UVXY. Virgin Galactic, I'm going to hold this one till the imbalances. It's at the low of the day, so why not? Same thing with Rivian. They're pretty much at those bottoms. But all the longs they sort of gotten away. We broke 4,000 on the ES just now. 12.2 just got taken out on the NASDAQ, so hold on to your shorts. VIX also breaking out to the upside. Tesla just broke 790. It's one of those types of days, right? Like there's that bottom getting taken out. Palantir somehow holding up, but even that's not lasting at this point.
AMC went on a jog there up to 63. And then I took another out at 57 or whatever when it came back. So we've had a few outs here. It looks like, and this is good for most, that it is defending AMC. Looks like it's trying to defend that 50. So good. Good for a lot of people there that are into AMC, and why not? Maybe it does defend, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So AMC right now, good trade for anybody that took the long off 50, as it looks like it's getting back up. I'm not holding this through this 50 period, and I'll lose on this if it goes through 70. So we'll get out of that one if it goes through 70. That is AMC. 5 minutes, and it's imbalance time. I know we talked about the imbalance that we had. I think it's still that 700 million buy side. What's up, Brando?
DSBC is a SPAC. They halted it for news pending. They announced a deal. It's traded 78 shares today in volume. So sign of the times, apparently. No one cares about SPACs anymore, including Goldman. Funny note, Goldman out this morning saying they're done with SPACs. They're not going to do anymore because of the risk. DBRG, quickly. This is the other side of that SWCH we mentioned earlier on buyout rumors. So it's this one who is interested.
DBRG, look, 78 shares is insane, man. Like that's, wow. They don't care. They don't care anymore. And look, with only about 3 minutes to go till the imbalances come out, like it did indicate, from Financial Juice that it was a potential small early mock at 660. And we'll have it up there and have a quick look to see what is moving. Now, obviously, look, Rivian, I'm not saying there'll be an imbalance on it, but if anyone that was watching it this morning, I think you saw when the imbalances did drop right before the open on the NASDAQ, right before that open, there was a huge spike up because it was a buy imbalance. Right. And I think I know everyone's like, okay, possibly Ford is selling a bunch of shares and maybe even Amazon some more, but that doesn't mean it has to be a sell imbalance because it could be the other side. If there's so much expected selling, somebody who's looking to cover a gigantic short will say, well, there's going to be liquidity in the closing imbalance, so I can just stuff it in there and not move the stock. And that's why you might see buy imbalances on something you expect to sell. And oh my goodness, Tesla.
What now?
Whoa, Tesla 780? What did that?
Yeah, this market
That
is...
escalated real fast when we broke 12.2, and then that 4,000 got taken out. Now we're at 39.85. So when everyone was asked the levels below 4,300, 4,000.
37.50 was what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was. No, it was, I think
that's a ways away.
It was between 37.5 and 38, I think, somewhere in that range. But
okay.
And we said what's below 800 on Tesla? 760. Well, we're halfway there, and we're living on a prayer.
I like that one.
I was gonna try to sing it, but then I'm like,
this market has
nobody wants to hear
some
that.
bad medicine as well. So.
Hey.
The new guys like it. The new guys like it.
I like that.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, not only slinging shares here, but trying to get those horrible dad jokes involved as well. But
no, we're shouting out quality music.
Yeah, apparently, Mr. John Bon Jovi, coming from one of our good friends that loves Bon Jovi, he says that he's really lost a step here, but the guy's like 70 years old.
What do you want from him?
I know. That's why I was like, what? I'm not expecting this guy to rock and roll.
Like, he's a legend, but I'm not going to say something in front of him.
No. He's definitely. I went to a Bon Jovi concert in Jersey, where he's from. So there you go.
With cheese?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was a good time when we were younger, in my younger days there. Market coming down in. We do have the imbalances coming out right now. No idea which way it's going to go, but and I'm not really in threat of any of these positions for the imbalances, so all is well here. Let's just call these up. This is what we're talking about when we're looking at the market on close imbalances, and it's right here, these NASDAQs. We'll see. As of right now, it's all 930. We'll sort it by size. When it comes out in about a minute and a half, you'll start to see some of this action here as AMC, doing the same kind of dance here. Back downside, we'll have to watch out for AMC. It did make a move close to 70. We didn't get taken out, so all good. Again, not really, these aren't live right now. So in a minute, they'll update if AMC could come as a buy. And if it does, then we'll have to get out. So right now, that's what we're watching, a few different trades here. But AMC, on my mind, that's really the only risk that we have into this close right now. Palantir, we only have that 10%, so not too worried about that trade. Other than that, let's just rock and roll and see what these imbalances bring us. AMC trying to break through that 50. Let's see if it does it. Let's take out another piece 51 while we can.
It's case closed for me. I just put that in there for Rivian. It just got to the 22.5 again, right back at the low of the day. And some of this is, you should never trade your book or just dumb things that you say. But I got one position on right now, and I'm short Virgin Galactic. So what I thought would make sense on Friday, I'm going to get out of it in a quick second here. But we're at the lows of the day. I just don't want there to be, like any kind of a snapback bottom, because Rivian, it's holding this 22.50 partly because of its SSR. Like, nobody's hitting the bid, so it can't go any further than this. And you're seeing 49 by 50, and it looks like it wants to go. It just can't go any further. Tesla's not having that trouble at that 780 level. It's really starting to pull back, but there go the imbalances. Some buys. Palantir, $1 million to buy.
Okay, so that's good. We'll take that. As I went short on the TQQ here just to see, but it doesn't look like, Palantir $1 million to buy. That's good. We're in that name. It doesn't look like the market wants to do much off this number, so that's about it, man. I mean, I wish there was more interesting things on here. It's just really Palantir. We can have a quick look at what that did, and it didn't do anything to Palantir. It actually didn't move it at all. So we'll watch out for that. AMC did take down 50 there. We got a 50 bid, 51 bid. We're waiting a little lower than that. Let's see if AMC can do anything, but AMC not even on here as far as I can see. Pretty light considering the day, down 4.5%. I thought this could have been one of those crazy short days, but it doesn't look like that's the case. But our
Barrick's $2.7 million.
What was?
Barrick Gold.
Barrick Gold, okay. So the gold. What's up, Peter Schiff?
That's a little weird. I mean, I'm actually not very accustomed to seeing Barrick on the imbalance locator, but it's got $2.7 million to buy. Not that it seems to matter because it's just sort of chilling out on the bottom. Yep. So just because it's a buy or sell imbalance does obviously not mean it has to trade in that direction. And if you're keeping score at home, there's your breakout in UVXY. That's why you had to get out of some of those longs and hold on to these shorts for these lows. I got out at 350, but this is what happens. You're now breaking through last week's top in volatility as we were just cratering on the bottom. It's not a great sign to start out the week, not being able to catch a bit of a bid, but here we go 4% on the NASDAQ and the ES just continuing its breakdown from 4,000. And keep in mind, there are levels coming up on the ES that everyone and their mother is dip buying. Like I'm telling you, like in the institutions, we dip buying these prices as well. That's that 38 mark. And those are going to start to come up. And on those types of days, sometimes you got to grit your teeth, have your stink bids in. I got a stink bid on a Canadian bank, my bank, today that I didn't think was going to come in. And then, we opened up and it's like, I got the fill notification. Didn't realize we're at that price. That's what it's going to be in this market. You put those stink bids in, the ones that you like, and then they'll start to fill in every day, every week, every quarter. They're going to start to come in for the rest of the year. But yeah, Barrick, that buy and bounce does not matter. It's just grinding lower. Probably going to pair off pretty quickly.
Yeah, hard to disagree with putting in stink bids right now, guys, and we just mean by lower bids, like just put them in there. We're going to try to get out of Palantir if it prints us at 41. We don't need to be in this name, so when we don't need to be in something, we'll get out. It's just we're light on shares. We'll take a little bit of profit if this name wants to give it to us. That's there. AMC obviously has fallen down, so that's going to be a nice one. The bears came out on them. We'll see tomorrow. I mean, obviously, if you're an AMC shareholder, it's all about tomorrow when the number comes out on their print, so that's going to come through. There we are, out on Palantir there, so that's an out on 41 as that goes up and down. We might as well figure out just to get out of Rivian now. This is a big trade for me today, man. We talked about this being the biggest one that we looked for, 25.18 short, $2.50 in the money. We're just going to start getting out now as it's been a good day for us. And then there's TQQ. We did take this short at 20, what am I short at, 19s. We took a piece out. I just got a fill not too long ago, 04s. So let's see where TQQ goes from here. And again, this is just an aggressive Qs. You could take SQQQ to go the other way. But if this market drops down, then this should drop as well, 3 times faster than the NASDAQ. So that's why we took it, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything either way. AMC also having a problem at 45, so we'll just take some more out.
And I know we ignore some of the small caps, but just to come back to that BW, V, we show you the winners, we show you the losers. I got top wicks twice on this thing, and it's back at VWAP. So, you know, obviously there are better fish to be fried, but sometimes that's the nature of the game. And it's the same thing with catching along off the bottom. Like, you got to be willing to make the bottom wick, too. 780 just held on Tesla, so it looks like a bit of a turn. Like we said, below 800 with the significant level of 760, but that didn't mean that that's where it was headed today. It just means that's where the support is on a Tesla. And there's still a few names out there that we got to talk about, Brendo.
Yeah, we'll get into some earnings. This relentless selling is impressive. Wow. Right into the close here, guys. Now 3.4 for the S&P. We've mentioned a few of these already, but let's make it official. Earnings for aftermarket and tomorrow morning. AMC is tonight, guys.
Tonight
See, that's
is
what
the night.
I wasn't sure, but that's what I kind of thought it was. And we talked about how, for some of these names, it's a dangerous morning or a set of earnings because you have some of those growth or higher profile names or higher valuation or no profit types with Peloton, Smile Direct, AMC, Plug Power, Upstart as well. I mean, not all in the same category, but they're not necessarily your staple type names. However, there are a few of those that have gone down to levels that it doesn't take much, man. Especially the way that they've sold off today. And you put like a Peloton's in that bucket that, you're below that $15 mark, but if there's anything positive on it, it's got so much room to run to the upside. And we've been in that trap before. Like, you cannot write off either direction on any of these earnings type plays. So you come in and you think it can only go down based on the stock it is. That's what happened to me on Virgin Galactic, right? I came in, this is obviously going to be a short. It always tries to squeeze on you on that first day after a bad report. But Peloton, not expecting there's much good that they could say. But when it's this far down, have an open mind to what can happen when these things try to squeeze or squoze you. Or don't get squozed. That's what I want to say.
No, you don't want
big turn on UVXY.
You don't want anyone to get squozed out there. So all right, that's it. We're done. We're flat now. Good day, a great day. So couldn't be happier with today. A lot of good names for us, man, including that AMC we just got out right here as it breaks above 50. That's a good trade for us. It's just at the end of the day, so not much there. Bitcoins are starting to go back up, but that's not really happening. Microsoft was great today. Palantir was good at the end, not good early. We took a one trade at 8, broke through. We got out at 785 or 787 there, whatever that was. That was bad. But since then, it was pretty good. There, TQQ flat there, in and out, whatever. I mean, it's profitable, but very, very small. And then Rivian, man, the trade of the day for Rivian as we beat up on this stock today. Wow. Not the trade of the day. The trade of the day was NIO, but good trade for Rivian.
Rivian was
today.
the trade of the day.
Yeah.
NIO was the trade that we wanted to
Highlight,
show, sort of show the levels off of, and I think we'll just be more interested for the way that we group them for YouTube. But Rivian was the trade of the day. Like, this is the event that everyone was waiting for a week and a half. Let's be real.
Yep.
And that's why you look at these lockup expirations. There was something else that's recent that's coming out, and It's not as big as a Rivian, but there was another one this week or next week. I got to double check that because lockups in this environment, they're going to matter. That's for darn sure.
Well, that's why I was nervous a little bit about AMC, right? Because their report's coming soon, and who knows where they're going to be. Hopefully a lot higher for everybody that's holding it. Their BBIG down to 288, down 12%. Let's check these imbalances quickly here for you if you're interested in them. One more time, as you can see right there. So this is what's hot right here on the imbalance side. Gold. Neil brought that to our attention again. We could check out that Barrick. Oops, where did that go there? The imbalance locator. There it is. Let's see what it's doing. Oh, that's the daily chart. We don't want that. Let's check out the 1 minute. It's a buy imbalance. You can see that hasn't really helped. The buy imbalance hasn't helped us at all. Starting to make new lows right now in Barrick Gold. Where is this? I don't own any gold at all. Down to 21 bucks. So I don't know if it's is this a hedge? This is the thing,
if you got jewelry.
This is when it's supposed to be working in this environment, gold, right? US dollar, everything right now, some of these Bitcoins. Brendan's going to show the board in a second. It's nasty.
Look at the turn.
So I don't know, man. NASDAQ with a nice little bounce. You're still down 4% though.
There was just look at the turn. Everyone keeps bugging, saying, why not just trade UVXY? Look at it respect last week's top. Last week's high in UVXY just made a wick off top and pullback. And one of the reasons, if you pull up a level 2 of UVXY, and it's like that if you watch VXX as well, you'll see what I mean about quote stuffing and the algos. Those are always trickier to trade when you actually watch the level 2 if you're used to tape reading. But it doesn't mean you can't just respect the chart because that looks pretty gorgeous. And yeah, I'm going to watch Barrick going into this close because it's still a buy imbalance and somehow still falling off. I'd expect that to pair and there might be a quick maybe snapback trade. I can't believe it, but there's the bounce back that we did, or the pullback I just saw in UVXY, and we're still 10 points below 4,000 on the ES.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of a bounce there, but it wasn't quite enough to get us any higher. Tesla went $8, couldn't get back to 790 or 800 with 1 minute to go. Not much of a bounce, but Petetra.
Yeah.
That's French for a little.
Yeah.
I know that phrase and nothing else.
Grande, the other one, the other way around. Okay, Microsoft, I just want to look at this one, man. I mean, wow, this damage is not even done yet. This could get even nastier tomorrow, man. We've already bounced off that 12. I think I was talking even last week about 37.50 on the ES. You're down to 30. I mean, we broke 4 now, so that's downside. And look at Microsoft just accelerating here. Just watch out into the close. It looks like some of these stocks tried to bounce. It doesn't look like it wants to here. Trying to get more down to the day's low again of 263. So, oh man, earnings going to be a big problem coming through. But we're almost done now.
And Miss V is on the bell.
Yep.
So she'll ring the bell. There she goes in the red, which kind of fits for today. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ring it. We're going to need all the green tomorrow, Miss V.
Ooh.
All of it.
Go Florida Panthers, says the playmaker there. I don't know if Florida Panthers #1 in the league. We'll see their most points. So we'll see if they can beat the Washington Capitals tonight, playmaker. I saw your Miami Heat go down. Our KL is back, though, Kyle Lowry. So we'll see
baby.
If he can get them going.
We still love Kyle.
Yeah, of course. Probably the greatest Raptor of all time. I mean, I think talent-wise, we got Kawhi, but Kawhi was here for a year and then booked out. But I really love
I tend to think
Kyle Lowry.
I think DeMar probably does not get as much due, but there's no questioning what Kyle Lowry meant to the.
Well, he won the ring. If DeMar had stuck around, then
I love DeMar DeRozan.
So do I. I mean, nothing wrong with DeMar DeRozan. All right, over to Brendan. How did we finish up?
I was just double checking, guys. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, it's May 11th. So coming up in 2 days, we'll get CPI for last month. So, I mean, that's going to be a huge benchmark going forward, I think. But remember, it's 8:30, isn't it? Yeah, it's 8:30 typically. CPI 2 days from now for last month. So that should be interesting as well. Yeah, we can look at this if anyone wants to, but it's not nice. 3%. Right across the board, essentially. The Dow a little bit better, but I just noticed this: Ethereum 16%, 14.25% for Bitcoin. Ouch.
Damn. Yeah, that's what that chart looks like.
Get in there and buy. I mean, yeah, crypto. Look.
Yeah, where's Beaks, man? Get in there and buy.
He's dealing with the orange juice right now. He's dealing with that orange juice futures right now. Okay, so yeah, free Tony I saw in the chat. I went there, back there, spoke to Tony today.
Yeah, he's good.
He's doing well, so shout out to Tony as well. Maybe we'll get him to ring the bell tomorrow with Ms. V. We can get Tony back in the building. Wow, Amazon 2170, yuck. Some of these numbers are just so bad. Shout out to Mr. Harden over there. He's got it going. Shout out to Brad. He said Vince Carter, so he likes Vince Carter as a Raptor, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No disrespect. Still love Vince
to Vince
too,
Carter. No disrespect to Chris Bosh. I mean, T-Mac, I love T-Mac's flair. I just wish it would have worked out for him and Vince because we could have had something.
Everybody knows if they stuck together what it could have been. We all know. We know. It just
Everybody knows. But, getting that tax break in Florida was a big one for Mr. T-Mac. So shout out to everybody there. Shout out to all of our viewers. Thank you for watching. Thanks to Bulls vs. Bears Media there for helping us out in the moderation there.
Oh, and one last shout out because you're going to do the whole team. To all the new traders we got here.
Yeah.
Still have to put some names to faces. We haven't had a chance to meet everybody, but should be good.
Yep, okay. Thank you so much. Who's over there? It's Maggie's over there, and so is Fahad. Thank you so much to all you guys. Thank you for Rob, who was switching today a little bit. I think in the morning, maybe not in the afternoon. Thank you guys. Thank you to Miss V, of course, right there wearing the red. We just got to judge what she's wearing because we talked about that as the color of the market. So we'll see tomorrow. Yeah, but black, when she wears black, the market also tends to go up, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
So we'll see on that one tomorrow.
Always bet on
not
black.
that there means anything, but keep wearing whatever you want, Ms. V. The market will do its own thing. But thank you again for all the updates today from Ms. V and from Brendan. It was a great day. The trade of the day is on board. We'll wait for AMC earnings. We'll wait for all those names to come through. It's going to be a good day tomorrow like it was today. Join us at 8:30 live tomorrow, Trader TV Live, 8:30. We'll be back. Ciao, guys.